Chapter 362. You know what you've done. Chen Huanling's eyes turned bloodshot at the sight of the white fox. This was Chen Jinping's murderer, so there was no way he was going to let it go so easily. Since you've delivered yourself to my doorstep, I'll save my points. Die. You're crazy. Xiao Chen was speechless. He just wanted to ask how he had offended the Chen family. Logically speaking, even if Chen Jinquan's death was suspected, Xiao Chen should be the suspect, not White Fox. As for Chen Jinping, it had nothing to do with him. He wasn't the one who killed Chen Jinping. How could the Chen family deny it? However, Chen Huanling charged at him. Of course, Xiao Chen wouldn't let him hit him. Xiao Chen didn't care about a stage 7 internal force martial artist. He slapped Chen Huanling so hard that he spun on the ground. Xiao Chen ignored him. He looked at War God Chen and said, War God Chen, is there something wrong with the Chen family? I think you're trying to wipe out the entire family, right? Don't you know that I, White Fox, specialize in wiping out families? Haven't you heard how the Sun family died? You're a stage 8 internal force martial artist? War God Chen looked at White Fox in surprise. He didn't expect White Fox to be so powerful. He also didn't expect White Fox to be related to the deaths of the Sun family members. He suppressed his anger and said, You and Xin Jinghao's daughter had an affair, killed my grandson Jinping and framed him. Do you think the Chen family is a pushover? Let me tell you, I'm a stage 8 internal force martial artist. Don't think I'm afraid of you. If you don't give me an explanation, don't walk out of here today. First, I didn't kill Chen Jinping. It doesn't matter if you believe me or not. I'm not lying to you, Xiao Chen said indifferently. Second, it's easy for me to kill your whole family. Don't try to scare me with the peak of inner force stage 8. I just killed a martial artist at the peak of inner force stage 8. You didn't kill him? How dare you say you didn't kill him? Martial God Chen sneered. You just killed a martial artist at the peak of stage 8 inner force? You're really shameless when you lie. How many martial artists in the whole of Songning City are above stage 8 inner force? Who did you beat to death? Tell me about it. But you don't have the chance anymore. Die. With that, Chen Wuxian didn't waste any more words with Xiao Chen. He had been on the verge of going crazy recently. The Chen family had no successor. At this moment, he saw the murderer of Chen Jinping. How could he remain calm? He opened and closed his hands. His whole body spun on the ground like a spinning top. His hands were spread out horizontally like two sickles. They spun back and forth, bringing with them a gust of wind, and attacked Xiao Chen. If this move had been seen by the previous Xiao Chen, it would have been quite powerful and shocking. However, compared to the previous Leng Youxiang, Martial God Chen's level and power were too low. Martial God Chen's peak of stage 8 inner force was on a completely different level from Leng Youxiang's peak of stage 8 inner force. Their martial arts skills were also far inferior. Martial God Chen's move was at most pleasing to the eyes, and could only intimidate the martial artists from the Songning families. As for Xiao Chen, he was now a devil cultivator, with rich combat experience. Although Xiao Chen didn't have much time on the stage in this summit, he had learned a lot of combat experience from the battles of others. It was easy for him to crack Martial God Chen's move. When Martial God Chen came over, Xiao Chen bent down and gave him a sweeping kick. Martial God Chen almost tripped and fell to the ground. Xiao Chen didn't give him any time to catch his breath. He went forward and gave Martial God Chen a kick, sending him sprawling on the ground. White Fox hero, show mercy. A loud shout came from the door. A middle-aged man hurried into the Chen family's courtyard. Xiao Chen had some impression of this man. He was the president of the Songning Martial Artists Guild Chu Jingbian. However, Xiao Chen had never interacted with him. When the Xiao family was at its peak, the Xiao family had invited him to a banquet. However, this man had a proud expression during the banquet. His grandfather Xiao Yuanshan had been very respectful to him. Later on, when the Xiao family had declined, this man had never appeared in the Xiao family again. Of course, Xiao Chen was still young back then, and he didn't have much to say. Chu Jingbian probably didn't have any impression of Xiao Chen at all. President Chu, what's the matter? Xiao Chen turned around and looked at Chu Jingbian as he asked calmly. Although it was normal for Chu Jingbian to not come over now that the Xiao clan had declined, Xiao Chen didn't have a good impression of him. Naturally, he wasn't warm to him. Although Chu Jingbian's strength was higher than Xiao Chen's, he didn't dare show up because of Xiao Chen's demonic star sect background. Moreover, he was here to persuade Xiao Chen, not to go against Xiao Chen. Therefore, he said politely, "White Fox Hero, I think this is a misunderstanding. I'm afraid the Chen family has made a mistake in ordering you to be wanted. I have already cancelled the mission. Can you allow me to speak to Chen Huanling alone?" "Sure, go ahead." Xiao Chen nodded to show respect to Chu Jingbian. "Haha, thank you so much, White Fox Hero. Please wait a moment." Chu Jingbian quickly pulled Chen Wuxian and Chen Huanling up from the ground and walked away. He had rushed here in a hurry. He had a good relationship with Chen Huanling, so he was shocked when he saw Chen Huanling issue such a mission. Was he courting death? He knew very well what kind of person White Fox was. He had killed Leng Youxiang, who was at the peak of Stage 8 internal force, at the Songming Righteous Devil Summit. What more could Chen Huanling and Chen Wuxian do? Although Chu Jingbian was stronger than White Fox, as the president of the local warrior guild, he couldn't avenge others or help them. If he did, he would be called back by the headquarters for a lecture. He rushed here to see if there was a misunderstanding. Otherwise, with White Fox Hero's personality, he might really destroy the Chen family. Chen Huanling and Chen Wuxian were scared out of their wits. They finally understood White Fox's strength. Although his strength was similar to Chen Wuxian's, it was a piece of cake for him to beat him. If Chen Wuxian used the martial god slash, it would be difficult for him to even get close to White Fox, let alone kick him. Even if he wasn't killed by White Fox's arms, the strong wind around him was enough to send him flying. However, nothing happened to White Fox. It was obvious that he was very strong. "I say, old Chen, are you crazy? Do you know who the White Fox is? How dare you issue a mission to him? Does the Chen family not want to live anymore?" Chu Jingbian roared in exasperation. "What's going on? Tell me." "President Chu, White Fox is the murderer of Chen Jinping. You still won't admit it." Chen Huanling angrily told Chu Jingbian what had happened. With Chu Jingbian's status, there was no way he could hide it. Chu Jingbian was speechless. Chu Jingbian was speechless when he heard that. He said, "If White Fox really did it, I don't think he will deny it. He has already killed 2 people today. He doesn't care what others say about him. Since he said he didn't do it, then he didn't do it. Besides, this isn't any evidence. It's all speculation. It might not be White Fox's doing." "What do you mean? Did he kill 2 people today? Who did he kill?" Chen Huanling was shocked. He felt that there was something he didn't know. However, it was obvious that Chu Jingbian already knew. Otherwise, he wouldn't have appeared here out of nowhere and stopped the fight. "Isn't this the Songming Righteous and Demonic Summit?" Chu Jingbian smiled bitterly. He told Chen Huanling and Chen Wuxian everything that had happened at the summit. The 2 were dumbfounded. Li Shanning, a Stage 7 inner force martial artist, was killed? Leng Youxiang, a demonic cultivator at the peak of Stage 8 inner force martial artist, was killed? And under the watchful eyes of so many people? Then there was no need for him to deny that he killed Chen Jinping. Either one of the 2 dead people had a much bigger background than the Chen family. Chen Huanling thought that White Fox refused to admit it because he was afraid of the Chen family's warrior guild background. However, the Li family's warrior guild background was not much bigger than the Chen family's. Leng Youxiang's demonic sect background was even scarier. Could it be that he was wrong? White Fox didn't kill Chen Jinping, but someone else. Chen Wuxian was also in a difficult position. He had offended White Fox. The Chen family didn't understand the situation and was provoked by someone who targeted White Fox. Now that he thought about it, it was full of doubts. Why would someone send an email to the Chen family? What was this person's motive and purpose? Chen Wuxian nodded and said, "Chairman Chu, you're right. We were too impulsive. I'll apologize to Arctic Fox now." "That's right. I'll let the Warrior Guild investigate the cause of Chen Jinping's death. They will definitely find out the truth and the murderer. However, I don't think it was White Fox," Chu Jingbian said with a sigh of relief. Originally, he had no intention of interfering with the Chen family's matter. After all, it was a private matter and a scandal. It was not appropriate for the Warrior Guild to intervene. What would outsiders think if they intervened? However, because of White Fox, Chu Jingbian had no choice but to intervene. Otherwise, White Fox would definitely not agree to it. How could they accuse him? You have to take out evidence to prove his innocence. Ah, thank you for your help, President Chu. If we find out who the murderer is, we must punish him severely. Chen Huanling also regained his composure and nodded. That's right. Look at things rationally. The email you received was probably someone who couldn't beat White Fox, but he wanted to take revenge. Then, he used you to deal with him. Chu Jingbian said. There's something strange about this. You're also confused because you're closely involved. That's right. Now that I think about it, there's indeed something fishy. Chen Huanling nodded. That's true. According to what you said, there was no need for him to kill Chen Jinping. He could have just told the Chen family, and we would have cancelled the engagement. Who would dare to go against someone from such a sect? Chapter 363. Alright, just apologize to him, and this matter will be over. I'll help you investigate again, okay? Chu Jingpian heaved a sigh of relief. Okay. Chen Huanling thought it through, and quickly walked to Xiao Chun with Warlord Chen. He said, White Fox Hero, I'm sorry we made a mistake. I'm really sorry, I hope you can forgive us. We were also instigated by others and mistakenly thought that you were the murderer of Chen Jinping. Alright, forget it then. Xiao Chun waved his hand. Chu Jingpian was here, and he knew that it was not good to continue making trouble. Anyway, the Chen family had ceased all activities, and his reputation as the White Fox would probably be known throughout Songning City by tomorrow. White Fox Hero, let me send you off. Chen Huanling said. No need. Xiao Chun said. It's getting late, I'll go back and rest. Since there was nothing else, Xiao Chun and Yi Xiaoya went back. They took a taxi, and Xiao Chun did not drive as it was more conspicuous. Oh right, I have something to do tomorrow morning. Is it okay for you to stay at the Zheng family's martial arts school? Xiao Chun asked. Accompany your girlfriend? Of course, no problem. Yi Xiaoya nodded and said. Well, call me anytime if there's anything. Xiao Chun was vague. In fact, he was going to accompany Cheng Minjing and Lu Zhiming to have fun. He did not know what Lu Zhiming was going to do this time. Perhaps he would not be able to go back today. Xiao Chun could only send a text message to Missy, telling her that he had something to discuss with Zhu Yingxiong. Zhu Yingxiong had a girlfriend and fiancé, and he would go and take a look. He would return to the villa early the next morning, and then go out with Lu Zhiming and the others. Since Cheng Minjing was accompanied by Shen Jingxian, she naturally paid more attention to Xiao Chun. She replied with a good, and then ignored him. When they returned to their residence, no one dared to look Xiao Chun in the eye as they walked through the Zheng family martial arts dojo. When they saw him and Yi Xiaoya walking over, they all moved to the side. This kind of ruthless person, who had consecutively killed 2 high-level martial artists, was the nightmare of these challengers. No one wanted to look for trouble with him. What's more, they could challenge anyone in the dojo at any time. If Xiao Chun wanted to challenge them, they would be forced to admit defeat and lose points. On the way back to the room, Yi Xiaoya suddenly thought of something. By the way, do you still have my scorching devil energy in your body? There are still a lot. Xiao Chun couldn't help but smile bitterly after listening. Yesterday you almost gave me an explosion. Why don't you give it all back to me? Fortunately, I didn't have to go on stage to fight today. Otherwise, my stamina and devil energy might not be enough. Yi Xiaoya said. Today's battles were very intense, so Yi Xiaoya didn't have any confidence in winning. Her strength was only at the 5th level. Unless she encountered an opponent of the lowest level, otherwise, she had no chance of winning. Especially since her stamina and devil energy had been consumed by Xiao Chun a lot. Until today, she still hadn't recovered. Give it to you. Xiao Chun thought about it. It should be possible, but this process was more troublesome. He had to use his own primordial qi to push Yi Xiaoya's scorching devil energy back into Yi Xiaoya's body. Otherwise, Xiao Chun wouldn't be able to use his own cultivation method to drive the remaining scorching devil energy in his body. And after the scorching devil energy entered Yi Xiaoya's body, he would take back his primordial qi. This cycle should be possible. Thinking of this, Xiao Chen said, I can give it a try. Now that Leng Youxiang was dead, there was no use for Xiao Chen to have the scorching devil energy. It was better to return it to Yi Xiaoya than to keep it in his body. Then, what do I need to do now? Asked Yi Xiaoya. In a while, I will mix my demonic energy with your demonic energy and inject it into your body. Then, you will try to use the mantra to guide it, and then transfer it back to me. If this cycle continues, you should be able to guide your demonic energy back, Xiao Chen said. All right. Yi Xiaoya nodded and sat cross-legged on the bed. She said, then let's begin. Xiao Chen did not delay. He directly sat in front of Yi Xiaoya and placed his hands against Yi Xiaoya's hands. Then, he circulated his cultivation method and used his primordial qi to guide and push the remaining scorching devil energy in his body from his left hand to Yi Xiaoya's right hand. As for Yi Xiaoya, she hurriedly circulated her cultivation method and allowed the two mixed devil energy to circulate in her body. Indeed, the scorching devil energy and the two devil energies merged with her own devil energy and began to circulate in her body's meridians. Then, Yi Xiaoya pushed Xiao Chen's devil energy from her left hand to Xiao Chen's right hand. However, what surprised her was that when she pushed it out, she could not only push Xiao Chen's devil energy, she had to use her own devil energy to push and guide it. In this way, the two devil energies returned to Xiao Chen's body. The two people's situation was the same. They had to use their own devil energy to push the devil energy that did not belong to them. Otherwise, they would not be able to drive it alone. This was a very troublesome problem. Xiao Chen also circulated it in his body, and then pushed it to Yi Xiaoya. The two of them began to go back and forth several times, but they were unable to separate each other's devil energy. Yi Xiaoya was a little depressed. This was not a problem. If this continued, wouldn't it be useless? However, the next situation made Yi Xiaoya a little surprised. Because after going back and forth a few times, Yi Xiaoya suddenly found that she was actually showing signs of a breakthrough. After she broke through to the 5th level of inner force, she had not stopped. She had been practicing hard every day, but she was still a short distance away from the peak of the 5th level of inner force. However, she did not expect that after circulating the true qi with Xiao Chen, she seemed to be about to break through. It seemed that circulating the true qi back and forth in two people's bodies was more effective than circulating the true qi in one person's body. And it was faster. While Yi Xiaoya found the problem, Xiao Chen also found some problems. The true qi that Yi Xiaoya circulated over seemed to be a little different from before. His strength was also slightly improved. In the past, if there was no spiritual jade and medicinal herbs to assist him, there would be no effect at all if he cultivated directly like this. But now, Xiao Chen found that the speed of his cultivation was almost the same as after he took the elixir. What is this situation? Is this the legendary dual cultivation? Xiao Chen was a little surprised. Elder Heaven Ancestor, have you found the problem? Xiao Chen asked. Yes, I'm studying it. Elder Heaven Ancestor's voice sounded in Xiao Chen's ear. It seems that this girl's mental cultivation method, or physique, is somewhat similar and consistent with your body in some aspects. So when you circulate the mental cultivation method together, the true qi will circulate in your body and her body at the same time, which has the effect of twice the result with half the effort. It even has a stronger effect on breaking through the barrier. It's really a little strange. Obviously, your mental cultivation method is different, and it is not a dual cultivation method, but you can cultivate together. Did your parents practice the fire element devil cultivation? How could it be possible? Xiao Chen thought of his missing father and his mother, who he had not seen since he was a child. He felt a little sad. Songning Xiao family is a martial cultivation family. I used to be a good-for-nothing, so how could I cultivate? However, I have practiced her dark flame palm. Could it be because of this? It's possible, but that's not right. That's a martial art. What does it have to do with mental cultivation method? Elder Heaven Ancestor was a little puzzled. Don't ask me if you don't know. In short, it's a good thing to improve my strength. Who cares why? I'm not a curious baby. Xiao Chen said. That's true. Maybe it's because you are a cultivator, so you're awesome. Elder Heaven Ancestor said. "Pff, you're flattering yourself." Xiao Chen was a little speechless. But in any case, this situation was good. Since it could improve his strength, there was no harm. Why would Xiao Chen not do it? Originally, Xiao Chen was calmly practicing the mantra of the primary circulation method. He slightly increased the speed, because Xiao Chen wanted to cultivate faster. Previously, he only helped Yi Xiaoya guide the devil qi, so there was no need to circulate it too fast. On the other side, Yi Xiaoya clearly felt that Xiao Chen's speed of the mantra of the primary circulation method had increased, and her cultivation speed had also increased. She could not help but feel a little excited. Soon she would touch the barrier of the peak of the 5th level. Faster. White Fox faster. Yi Xiaoya's little face was red because of excitement. She was about to touch the barrier, and she could not help but shout. Xiao Chen was shocked. Can you not be so tempting? Faster, faster, faster. Yi Xiaoya saw that Xiao Chen did not move, and could not help but urge. Okay. Xiao Chen took a deep breath, and accelerated the circulation of the mantra of the primary circulation method. The majestic Yuan Qi, along with Yi Xiaoya's hot devil Qi, poured into Yi Xiaoya's dantian, and then flowed through the meridians of her body. Yi Xiaoya could not help but let out a comfortable moan. She finally touched the barrier of leveling up. There was no need to mention how happy she was in her heart. She did not expect that she could actually level up like this. Although Yi Xiaoya felt a little strange, since she could level up, she would level up first. Can you go faster? Yi Xiaoya said anxiously. If I go faster, I'm afraid you can't take it. After all, Xiao Chen was now a cultivator at the 7th level of the refinement stage. His strength was equivalent to the 8th level, or even the peak of the 8th level. If he circulated the mantra of the primary circulation method at full speed, he was afraid that Yi Xiaoya would explode. I can take it, hurry up, Yi Xiaoya urged. Okay. However, not long after Xiao Chen increased his speed, he saw that Yi Xiaoya's little face was getting redder and redder, and her body began to emit white steam. Was this the rhythm of a fire? In the end, the next moment, Xiao Chen almost peed in his pants because the clothes on Yi Xiaoya's body suddenly caught fire. Xiao Chen was shocked and subconsciously stopped the circulation of the mantra of the primary circulation method. But Yi Xiaoya was anxious. Don't stop, White Fox. Xiao Chen had to continue to circulate, and then automatically filtered out the ambiguity in Yi Xiaoya's words. But then, the clothes on Yi Xiaoya's body turned into ashes piece by piece, and soon, she became naked. Chapter 364. Xiao Chen was shocked. He thought that it was indecent to look, but it should be okay to peek, right? If it weren't for the erotic moment when Yi Xiaoya helped him transfer the devil qi yesterday, Xiao Chen would definitely close his eyes and not look. However, with the soft feeling on his back yesterday, Xiao Chen was a little reluctant to close his eyes. He thought, anyway, it was already like that yesterday. It should be okay to take a look, right? Yi Xiaoya stared at Xiao Chen and found that he was peeping at her. However, Yi Xiaoya couldn't do anything about it. She was on the verge of breaking through the barrier and had no time to care about these things. She could only desperately run the mantra. Shen Jingmao didn't have the habit of eavesdropping. However, he was appointed by his sister, Shen Jingxian, to come to the door of Xiao Chen's room to investigate what he and Yi Xiaoya were doing. As soon as he came to the door, he heard Yi Xiaoya's voice. Shen Jingmao's face was full of sweat. How could he tell his sister? To be honest, Shen Jingmao was very grateful to the White Fox for treating him when he was injured. However, he couldn't disobey his sister. So, he could only take out his mobile phone, record these voices and conversations, then send it to his sister, and quickly left. Xiao Chen was concentrating on his cultivation. It was impossible for him to use his divine sense to explore the situation outside. He didn't find Shen Jingmao coming. Moreover, Xiao Chen's attention was now on Yi Xiaoya. Boom! Yi Xiaoya was shocked. She had broken through, and was already a devil cultivator, at the peak of the 5th level of inner strength. After the breakthrough, Yi Xiaoya directly raised her foot and kicked Xiao Chen's face. However, at this moment, Xiao Chen saw something he shouldn't see. It was just that what he saw was not what he expected. Bang! Xiao Chen was kicked off the bed, and his mask almost flew off. Fortunately, Xiao Chen was quick to catch it. Otherwise, if Yi Xiaoya found out that he was Xiao Chen, it would be so embarrassing. This matter could only be discussed slowly. Xiao Chen smiled bitterly, and did not get up from the ground. He only said from the ground, "You are a classic example of burning the bridge after crossing the river. You don't want me anymore after breaking through." "What were you looking at just now?" Yi Xiaoya said angrily. "I didn't. You lifted your leg to show me." Xiao Chen said, feeling wronged. "What? Raise your leg? You saw that place too." Yi Xiaoya became even angrier. She was anxious, and didn't think too much before. She kicked Xiao Chen down, but she didn't expect him to see even more. "I didn't do it on purpose." Xiao Chen broke into a sweat. He realized that what he and Yi Xiaoya said was not the same thing. Don't tell anyone. Just pretend that you didn't see it. Do you hear me?" Yi Xiaoya scolded. "Okay," said Xiao Chen. "Then you can get up." Yi Xiaoya had already covered herself with the quilt. Xiao Chen got up from the ground, then glanced at Yi Xiaoya, and returned to his bed obediently. He said, "I found that this kind of cultivation seems to be effective for me too." "It's also effective for you?" Yi Xiaoya was stunned. "Are you going to break through too?" "I'm slower than you. It's not that obvious." Xiao Chen shook his head. Firstly, he was a cultivator. His cultivation system was different from Yi Xiaoya's. Secondly, his level was also higher, so the time needed was different. "Then we can still cultivate together in the future," Yi Xiaoya said. "Anyway, there is something of yours in my body." "Yi Xiaoya, don't force me, okay?" Xiao Chen finally couldn't help it. "I'm a normal man. You can go faster and don't stop. You have something of mine in your body. Can you not be so seductive? Don't blame me if I push you." Yi Xiaoya's face turned red. When she said it before, she didn't feel anything, but after being reminded by Xiao Chen, she thought about it carefully, and found that there was a problem. It was full of ambiguity, but she was not willing to admit it. It's your thinking that is complicated. Filthy person." Anyway, if you do this in the future, don't blame me if you push me," Xiao Chen reminded. Okay, I won't say it anymore." Yi Xiaoya nodded. This topic was a bit embarrassing. "I'm hungry. Help me find something to eat. I can't go out like this." "Okay." Xiao Chen nodded, got up, and was about to go out. "Wait." Yi Xiaoya stopped him. "No. How do you know my name is Yi Xiaoya? Did you investigate me?" Previously, Xiao Chen called her Little Yi. She thought it was because her surname was Yi, so he called her Little Yi. But now it seemed that it was not the case. Xiao Chen was stunned, and then realized that he was a little anxious before and accidentally spilled the beans. But it was easy to explain. Song Huawu said it. "Oh, it's her." Yi Xiaoya nodded. "That Song Huawu is a little biased against the Demon Gate. Don't always pay attention to her in the future. She is always afraid that we will go out and cause trouble. She follows us everywhere we go. It's really annoying." I think she's okay," Xiao Chen said noncommittally. "What's okay? If you want to continue training with me in the future, stay away from her. Or you can go find her," Yi Xiaoya said. "Okay." Xiao Chen nodded, and thought to himself, how can I find Yi Xiaoya to train with me in the future? Should I sneak into Yi Xiaoya's room? That's a good idea. But as time goes by, will I expose myself? Forget it, I'll take it one step at a time. Xiao Chen now really experienced the benefits of strength. When did the useless trash in the past become so strong-willed? Now, seeing Warlord Chen and even the president of the warrior guild Chu Zhengbian being submissive to him, Xiao Chen felt especially good. Now, if it wasn't for the fact that he didn't know who was behind Chao Yuliang, it wouldn't be a problem for him to restore his identity. However, now that he had restored his identity, he was afraid that the person behind him would either go into hiding or come looking for trouble. Although Xiao Chen was arrogant enough in Songning City, what about outside of Songning City? Shaking his head, Xiao Chen didn't think about this for now. Instead, he went out of the room and went shopping. Unexpectedly, at the gate of the Zheng family, Xiao Chen saw a few acquaintances. Cheng Mingqiang, Xiao Xiao, Yu Xiaochuan, Tang Tang, Yu Shanshan and Zhu Yingxiong. Among them, only Zhu Yingxiong knew his true identity, but Zhu Yingxiong acted as if he didn't see it, and was whispering to Yu Shanshan. Xiao Chen couldn't help but shake his head. It seemed that Zhu Yingxiong and Yu Shanshan had a good relationship. Then, how should he deal with the Yu family in the future? Ah, isn't this White Fox Hero? When Yu Xiaochuan saw Xiao Chen, he immediately left Tang Tang behind and ran over happily. His face was full of excitement and admiration. White Fox Hero, how are you? I'm Yu Xiaochuan. Do you remember that we've sent each other a private message on the Warrior Guild's app? Oh, I know you. Xiao Chen nodded. He was a little puzzled as to why Yu Xiaochuan was so enthusiastic. Could it be that he wanted him to kill Xiao Chen again? Haha, that's great. It's my honor to be remembered by White Fox Hero. By the way, White Fox Hero, what do you think of my fiancé? Yu Xiaochuan pointed to Tang Tang and asked attentively. Very good, very beautiful. Xiao Chen said inexplicably. He thought, what do you mean? Are you trying to show off to me? Does this guy know that I'm Xiao Chen? There's no reason for that. Haha, White Fox Hero, you think she's beautiful too? Do you like her? Yu Xiaochuan asked in a low voice. Are you crazy? Can you sleep with me if I like her? Xiao Chen thought that Yu Xiaochuan was crazy. Yes. Yu Xiaochuan nodded, and was a little excited. White Fox Hero, you like my fiancé, right? Okay, I'll find a way to help you. Then I won't bother White Fox Hero anymore. I'll go first. Xiao Chen looked at Yu Xiaochuan in shock. Not only did this guy change his sex, but he also seemed to have become stupid. What kind of train of thought was this? Cheng Mingqiang glanced at Xiao Chen. He didn't know White Fox, nor did he have any dealings with him. However, Xiao Xiao looked at White Fox up and down with some doubts. Finally, she shook her head gently and got into Cheng Mingqiang's car first. Cheng Mingqiang hesitated for a moment, and came over to say hello to Xiao Chen. White Fox Hero, nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you. I'm Cheng Mingqiang from the Cheng family in Songning. I hope we can get together in the future. Oh, Songning Cheng family, the head of the 4 big and 5 small families. I've heard of you. Xiao Chen reached out his hand. Seeing that White Fox Hero took the initiative to shake hands with him, Cheng Mingqiang instantly felt honored. Yu Xiaochuan didn't receive such treatment before. It seemed that the title of the number 1 family in Songning was different. He quickly reached out his hand and shook hands with Xiao Chen. Thank you for your kindness. It's not kindness. It's all about strength. Xiao Chen smiled faintly and said, Okay, is that your girlfriend? She's a pretty good girl. You guys go back. I still have something to do. Okay. Cheng Mingqiang nodded and walked back to his car. However, Cheng Mingqiang sat in the driver's seat, while Xiao Xiao sat in the back. This made Xiao Chen feel a little pain in his heart. It seemed that Xiao Xiao definitely didn't like Cheng Mingqiang, and he couldn't make the Xiao family stronger. He couldn't let Xiao Xiao marry the person she liked. At this moment, Xiao Chen secretly vowed in his heart that he would make the Xiao family go to glory again, and cancel the marriage between Xiao Xiao and Cheng Mingqiang. Tang Tang watched Yu Xiaochuan fawn over White Fox. She felt disgusted. Yu Xiaochuan had become more and more inexplicable recently. His actions and words were strange. She didn't know what stimulated him, but Tang Tang was disgusted every day. Seeing that he finished speaking, she didn't say much and got into the car without saying a word. Zhu Yingxiong glanced at Xiao Chen and got into the car with Yu Shanshan. Before Yu Xiaochuan got into the car, he didn't forget to wave to Xiao Chen. White Fox Hero, I'll go first. After that, he got into the car, started the car and left. Xiao Chen didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Chapter 365. After walking for about 2 kilometers, Xiao Chen found a night market. Xiao Chen bought some snacks like liangpi and rice noodles at a roadside snack shop. He then bought a set of clothes for Yi Xiaoye and went back. Xiao Chen noted down Yi Xiaoye's measurements, and even bought a set of underwear for her. The vendor didn't care about Xiao Chen's outfit at all. He thought that Xiao Chen was a street performer at the night market. Just as he was about to go back, Xiao Chen saw 2 familiar faces. It wasn't surprising to see familiar faces at the entrance of the Zheng family's house. After all, everyone was gathered at the summit. But now, Xiao Chun was a little surprised. The most surprising thing was, how did the two familiar faces get together? Zheng Xiaoquan also saw Xiao Chun and ran over excitedly. The familiar face next to him ran over. Xiao Chun also knew it. It was Lu Jinming. Oh, it's Zheng Xiaoquan. Why are you here? This is... Xiao Chun pointed at Lu Jinming and asked. He knew Lu Jinming, but he was wondering why they were together. Don't mention it. White Fox, this is a classmate of mine. He insisted that I bring him to see the Songning Summit. Do you think I have the ability to do that? I have to be very careful when I go to watch the competition myself. Why would I bring him there? Zheng Xiaoquan looked helpless. He never thought that Lu Jinming would beg him to come, but he did. Moreover, Lu Jinming's reason was very dignified. You said that I'm Xiao Chun's little brother now, right? You and Xiao Chun are good friends, right? Then there shouldn't be any conflict between us. We're on the same side. Why don't you bring me there? Zheng Xiaoquan felt helpless about this kind of explanation. However, he still explained it to the White Fox hero. For the White Fox hero, bringing someone in was as easy as flipping his hand. Especially after the White Fox hero showed off his might tonight. He believed that no one would dare to disrespect the White Fox hero. However, what Zheng Xiaoquan meant was that Lu Jinming and I don't have a good relationship. Moreover, we used to be enemies. Because of another friend, we barely managed to form a relationship. Hence, if Hero White Fox was willing to bring him along, then it was up to him. If not, then it was up to him. He didn't want to waste his relationship with Hero White Fox because of Lu Jinming. Ah, you are the White Fox hero. I've heard a lot about you. I'm Zheng Xiaoquan's good friend. I'm his good friend's younger brother. My name is Lu Jinming. Previously, Zheng Xiaoquan did not agree to let Lu Jinming attend the summit, so Lu Jinming pestered Zheng Xiaoquan to tell him many things that happened at the summit. Naturally, Zheng Xiaoquan mainly talked about the legendary White Fox. When Lu Jinming heard that the person in front of him was the legendary White Fox, he was overjoyed and quickly came over to introduce himself. This was a ruthless person. If the Lu family could have a relationship with him, then the Lu family's position would be preserved. Although the Lu family was one of the 9 aristocratic families, it was only at the bottom. It could be replaced by the Zheng family, or a new family at any time. Seeing that Zheng Xiaoquan and White Fox were quite familiar with each other, Lu Jinming was a little afraid. If the Zheng family and White Fox were to have a good relationship, what would happen to his family? Although his family's old ancestor was quite powerful, it was only against those families in Songning City. The person in front of him was an existence that defeated Li Shanying and trampled on Leng Youxiang. Moreover, he came from a big sect. If he slapped his old ancestor, wouldn't he be defeated? Although Lu Jinming was a little arrogant and stupid usually, he also understood that he could only be arrogant when the Lu family was powerful. If the Lu family couldn't, his future would be Zheng Xiaoquan. Oh, Xiao Chun nodded indifferently and said, then let him have a look tomorrow. Just tell the guard that I said it. If he doesn't agree, let him come to me. Ah, thank you, White Fox. Lu Jinming was overjoyed. Although Zheng Xiaoquan was a little puzzled as to why White Fox wanted Lu Jinming to go, he could only nod and say, okay, I understand. Okay, you guys have fun first. I still have something to do, so I'll go back first. The reason why Xiao Chun wanted Lu Jinming to go was because he was afraid that he would go somewhere far tomorrow. If he left halfway, it would be hard to explain to Missy. Now that Lu Jinming had something to do, even if he wanted to meet Missy, it could only be before the summit. When the summit started, he would have to end it. White Fox, let me send you. Before Zheng Xiaoquan could speak, Lu Jinming spoke first. There's no need. I'm used to walking. Xiao Chun shook his head. Then White Fox, take care. Lu Jinming said quickly. After Xiao Chun left, Lu Jinming said, Zheng Xiaoquan, hurry up. Tell me more about White Fox. You can ask about it yourself. I have to go home. If you want to come, wait for me at the Zheng family's door at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. I'll bring you in. After that, Zheng Xiaoquan left. He was a little depressed. Why did White Fox seem to be a little enthusiastic towards Lu Jinming? In fact, Zheng Xiaoquan also wanted to use White Fox to change the Zheng family's situation. Now that Lu Zhenming was involved, it wasn't easy. Unlike Zheng Xiaoquan's worries, Lu Zhenming went home in high spirits. He wanted to claim credit from his father and grandfather. He, Lu Zhenming, had done a great thing that was beneficial to the family. Previously, his pursuit of Cheng Minjing was unsuccessful. This made Lu Siwen lose patience with him. He wanted to find another marriage partner for him. Lu Siwen felt that the Cheng family probably couldn't match up to him. However, Lu Zhenming begged for a while, so Lu Siwen delayed his action. Now Lu Zhenming wanted to show his father how long he could wait. Compared to White Fox, what was the Cheng family? White Fox was from a big sect, and he was the strongest in the summit. Shen Jingxian sent the recording to his sister, Shen Jingxian. Shen Jingxian was still staying at Cheng Minjing's house today. She saw her brother's voice message, and was a little puzzled. However, she didn't dare to listen to it in front of Cheng Minjing. She secretly ran to the bathroom and pressed the play button. Quick. White Fox, faster. Ah. Faster, faster, faster. Okay. Can you go faster? I'm afraid you can't take it. I can take it. Hurry up. Okay. Don't stop, White Fox. Listening to the shameless conversation on the phone, Shen Jingxian was so angry that she gritted her teeth. This Yi Xiaoye is too shameless, isn't she? It's said that she said such words. It seems like I said it the other day too. I said it because I was drugged and my mind was not clear. But this Yi Xiaoye is definitely sober. And Xiao Chun is actually so cooperative with him? He must feel good looking at himself. This guy, he said it was a misunderstanding? Is this a misunderstanding? Shen Jingxian didn't believe in any misunderstanding anymore. Xiao Chun is a big liar through and through. Isn't this conversation enough to prove the problem? Shen Jingxian was so angry that she almost smashed the phone. Fine, Xiao Chun, this is how you treat me. Shen Jingxian was so angry that she cried again. She realized that liking someone is really hard. If you don't accept everything about him, then you have to suffer for him. However, Shen Jingxian really doesn't want to accept it. Why is he like this? It's not like I'm that bad. Is this the goddess that I've had a crush on for years? He doesn't cherish what he has in his hands. Men are all like this. I'll let you touch me again. Jingxian, what are you doing? I'm going to take a shower. Cheng Minjing realized that Shen Jingxian went to the washroom for a long time. She anxiously knocked on the door. I'm reading a novel on my phone. I'm addicted. Shen Jingxian was shocked and quickly opened the washroom door. Reading a novel? Cheng Minjing was stunned, but when she saw Shen Jingshuan's red eyes, she couldn't help but be surprised. Jingxian, are you crying? Oh, I'm reading School Bell's Bodyguard. Uncle Yu, this bad guy, wrote about Tang Yun going to Xuegu. Lenny is still so fickle. I'm crying reading it. Shen Jingxian said. Tang Yun went to Xuegu. The TV didn't show this. So sad, I'll scold him later. Cheng Minjing snorted. I added him. Really? Then I'll add him too and tell him not to write such a sad novel. Shen Jingxian nodded. Tell me your account number. You're in 22, just add me. It's the first verified account, Cheng Minjing said. Cheng Minjing said. I want him to give me the female lead in the new book. But that guy Lu Zhenming is really annoying. He also wants to be the female lead. After Shen Jingxian added him, she secretly sent a message when Cheng Minjing wasn't paying attention. Uncle Yu, in the new book, can the male lead be called Xiao Chun and the female lead be called Shen Jingxian? Thank you. She didn't know what she was thinking. Maybe it was because Xiao Chun made her sad, and she wanted to find some comfort in the fictitious novel. Or maybe she wanted to give Cheng Minjing some hints. When the novel was published, Cheng Minjing would read it. Maybe it wouldn't be so awkward when her relationship with Xiao Chun was exposed. In short, Shen Jingshuan's thoughts were very complicated. The two used to shower together. Cheng Minjing took off her clothes and went into the shower room first. Shen Jingxian put down her phone and followed. Cheng Mingqiang drove Xiao Xiao home. He didn't understand why she didn't sit in the front passenger seat, but in the back seat instead of the front passenger seat. However, Xiao Xiao was already sitting there, so it wasn't appropriate for him to ask further. On the way to the Xiao family's house, Cheng Mingxiang's phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID and saw that it was his father, Cheng Zhongfan. After thinking about it, Cheng Mingxiang felt that Xiao Xiao was in the car. Some words might not be appropriate to say, so he didn't pick it up. Xiao Xiao's eyes flashed. She gritted her teeth, moved her body, and sat behind Cheng Mingxiang. Then, she stretched out her hands and gently put them on Cheng Mingxiang's shoulders, gently massaging him. Chapter 366. Cheng Mingxiang groaned comfortably. The spectator seats in the Zheng family's martial arts arena were not very comfortable. He had sat for a whole night, and his shoulders were hurting a little. He did not expect Xiao Xiao to be so considerate. He was suddenly in a good mood. I knew it. Xiao Xiao spoke up for me yesterday. She almost quarreled with Cheng Minjing. How could she be so cold to me today? It turned out that she sat in the back row to give me a surprise. Because Cheng Mingxiang did not answer the phone, Cheng Zhongfan called again not long after. Cheng Mingxiang glanced at it and picked it up. Xiao Xiao's massage technique was really good. He was already in heaven. Hello, Dad. What's the matter? Cheng Mingxiang asked. Over there. Today, I asked about Xiao Chen again. Is the Qiao Yuliang you made reliable? Now that Xiao Chen is not dead, and Chen Jinping is dead first. If you can't do it, can you change the person? Cheng Zhongfan was also very annoyed. He really could not wait. Xiao Chen, that. I didn't see him. He definitely can't come to the summit. I'm sending Xiao Xiao home. I'll go back soon. Although we agreed that Xiao Chen would return to the Xiao family, he is not a member of the Xiao family for the time being. He can't go to the summit. Cheng Mingxiang did not answer the question. However, Cheng Zhongfan immediately understood Cheng Mingxiang's meaning and said, Okay, then you send Xiao Xiao home. We'll talk about it later. Okay. Cheng Mingxiang hung up the phone. After hanging up the phone, the car became unusually quiet. Cheng Mingxiang's car was specially made with imported soundproofing, so the atmosphere suddenly became a little strange. However, Xiao Xiao's massage was still going on. However, Cheng Mingxiang felt a little uneasy in his heart. Xiao Xiao, just now my father asked if Xiao Chen would attend the summit. Oh, Xiao Xiao answered indifferently. If he can go back, it'll be considered as me giving the Xiao family an explanation. When he goes back has nothing to do with me. Although I don't like him very much, I can't let the Xiao family be without a successor. Haha, how could that be? Our Cheng family will keep our promise, Cheng Mingxiang said proudly. I'm also a member of the Cheng family. If I don't keep my word, it won't look good on me, Xiao Xiao said. Hearing Xiao Xiao's words, Cheng Mingxiang was a little excited. That's right. Xiao Xiao, when can we take another step forward? Think about it, if our relationship is completely established, I can also talk to my family and let Xiao Chen go back early. Give me some time. I'm not ready yet, Xiao Xiao said. But don't worry, I won't make you wait too long. Okay. Cheng Mingxiang was very excited. He drove the car and hummed a little tune. Xiao Xiao's eyes flashed with a hint of viciousness. It was said that when a man was at that time, he was the most defenseless. Was that true? After Xiao Chen left the Chen family, Chen Wuxian, Chen Huanling, and Chen Zhantian treated Chu Jingdian as a guest of honor. They invited him to the reception room and prepared the best tea. President Chu, although our Chen family seems to be very prosperous now, we don't have a successor in the third generation, Chen Huanling complained. Although he was already the vice president of the Songning Martial Artist Guild, if the Chen family continued like this, it wouldn't be long before his generation came to an end. Vice President Chen, at our level, there are some words and some things that I have to say. Don't you still have a son? Chu Jingdian said. But he, with his current status, and what I did to him and his mother, will he still recognize me as his father? It wasn't that Chen Huanling hadn't thought about it before, but in order to marry into a foreign business family, he had abandoned his wife and children. He had even divorced his pregnant girlfriend in order to climb up the social ladder. It was precisely because of the support of that business family that the Chen family had risen step by step, and Chen Huanling had been able to sit in his current position. How do you know if you don't try? In the end, he's still a member of the Chen family. Chu Jingdian laughed. If it really doesn't work, you can only have another child with sister-in-law. We martial artists have very long lives anyway, so it's not that difficult. I'll find a chance to try. If it really doesn't work, I'll have to have another child with brother or me, Chen Huanling said. You should do, Huanling, forget about me. Your sister-in-law had a difficult birth when she was pregnant with Jean Kuan, so she can't get pregnant anymore. Now that Jean Kuan has a problem, she still hasn't walked out of the shadow. If I have a child with someone else, and her family finds out, wouldn't it be looking for trouble? Also, I'm old, almost 60 years old, but you're still young. Chen Zhantian sighed. Right, that white fox hero, where did he come from? Why is he so powerful? It seems that he's been active in Songning City recently. As the vice president of the Warrior Guild, Chen Huanling didn't pay attention to the white fox before. He should be from the demonic star sect, but recently, he and the demonic star sect Yibiya have been active within the boundaries of Songning City. We should avoid disciples from such sects as much as possible, because our Municipal Warriors Guild is only responsible for coordinating and managing the aristocratic families in our Songning City's territory. We have no right to interfere with them. Chu Zhengban said. You almost caused a disaster and ruined your family. If you dare to put him on the wanted list, you won't be able to reason with him if he destroys your family. How could I have thought so much before? Chen Huanling said with some fear. But I'll leave the investigation of Jing Peng's death to President Chu. Don't worry about this. I'll give you an answer as soon as possible. Chu Jingdian nodded. Xia family house. Xia Chen excitedly looked at the Warrior Guild app on his phone. The news of the white fox being wanted list made his blood boil, especially when he saw that the wanted list was issued by the vice president of the Warrior Guild, Chen Huanling. He was extremely happy. This meant that the white fox hero was dead. The credibility of this mission was much higher than other private missions. It wouldn't be long before the white fox became a corpse, right? At that time, with Shen Jinghao's selfish nature, he would definitely come to the Xie family to ask for help. At that time, he would be able to win the beauty's heart with a little bit of effort. This is so cool. Xie Chen, oh Xie Chen, you're really a genius. Winning over Shen Jingxian and gaining the support of the Shen family is the first step. In the future, you'll be the head of the Xie family, so this is a piece of cake. Shen Jinghao, who asked you to ignore me? Now someone is paying attention to me. However, before Xie Chen could rejoice for long, he was shocked to find that the bounty on Hero White Fox's bounty on the Warriors Guild app had been removed. However, when he searched further, he was shocked to find that not only was the bounty on the top, but the mission was also not there. It had been deleted. Who deleted it? Only a few higher-ups in the Warrior Guild had the authority to delete the mission, or it was Chen Huanling himself. Xie Chen was stunned. What was going on? Was the white fox dead, or was the mission cancelled? He quickly searched for the white fox name in the search engine, and found that this person was still there. Obviously he hadn't been killed. If he had been killed and turned in the mission, the account and nickname of the white fox in the Warrior Guild would be cancelled. Now that it was still there, it meant that there was no problem. The only possibility was that the mission was cancelled. Who? Why? He couldn't accept it. Previously, he sent an email to Shen Jinghao, but Shen Jinghao ignored him and sent an email to Chen Huanling. The white fox was immediately wanted, but it was quickly cancelled. What was going on? He couldn't figure it out. But Xie Chen's channels were limited, and he couldn't find out. He could only spend the sleepless night in depression. Yu Xiaochuan was driving the car in front with Tang Tang beside him. Yu Xiaochuan kept promoting the white fox to her. Tang Tang, when you saw the white fox just now, don't you think he's a real man because he's elegant? Yes. Compared to you, you're a woman, okay? Tang Tang was annoyed by Yu Xiaochuan and couldn't help but be angry. Although she had recovered her beauty image, her personality was still a tomboy. She directly retorted to Yu Xiaochuan. Oh, you think so too? Yu Xiaochuan was overjoyed. Then do you worship him? Tang Tang was speechless. Couldn't he tell? She thought so too. She was really anxious for Yu Xiaochuan's IQ. What kind of perverted thinking was this? What do you think? What do you think? Yu Xiaochuan saw that Tang Tang didn't speak, so he couldn't help but continue to ask. I say, Yu Xiaochuan, can you not be crazy? If I worship him, then I'll do it with him, and make you wear a green hat. You'll be happy, right? Tang Tang's speaking style was also very valiant. Anyway, it's not your first time. You and Xiaochuan used to. Yu Xiaochuan wasn't angry, but he hinted. Yu Xiaochuan, do you mean that I can still be with Xiaochuan? Tang Tang asked. Of course that's not what I mean. What I mean is, in the future, you have to behave yourself. Even if you have an affair, you have to be a handsome man like the white fox, not Xiaochuan, that trash. Yu Xiaochuan realized that he seemed to have said too much, so he quickly changed the topic and said, Pooh. Cough, 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 cough. Zhu Yingxiong heard it clearly in the back. Although he didn't know what Yu Xiaochuan ate wrong medicine, he actually said this. Is he agreeing to Tang Tang and the white fox having an affair? But this idiot probably didn't know that the white fox was the boss Xiaochuan. Brother, what are you talking about? Yu Shanshan recently found that her brother seemed to be a bit strange. His thinking was not the same as normal people. Was he provoked by something? Nothing, I'm just kidding. Yu Xiaochuan laughed. It's fine. Right, the idiot who flirted with Shanshan was too weak. He was killed in one move. I thought he was strong. In this summit, I think the white fox is the strongest. The others are not good enough. Chapter 367. That's right. Zhu Yingxiong thought, it must be boss Xiaochuan who made a move. Otherwise, no matter how stupid Ouyang Tang was, he wouldn't just stand there and wait to be beaten. Well, little fatty Zhu, you know your brother-in-law. You also think that Master White Fox is very handsome, right? Yu Xiaochuan asked. Yes, he is so handsome. If I were a woman, I would marry him. Zhu Yingxiong said shamelessly. Yes, yes. Yu Xiaochuan was overjoyed and said, You are good. Be my brother-in-law. I am very optimistic about you. Yu Xiaochuan first sent Tang Tang back to the Tang family. When they arrived at the Tang family's gate, Tang Tang got off first. While Yu Xiaochuan was parking the car, she lowered her voice and asked Zhu Yingxiong, How is Xiaochuan recently? Very good. Sister-in-law, do you miss him? Zhu Yingxiong asked with a smile. What sister-in-law? Don't call me that. Yu Xiaochuan and I are not married yet. Tang Tang didn't like this title. Sister-in-law. I mean Xiaochuan is my boss. Of course you are my sister-in-law. Zhu Yingxiong was stunned. He realized that Tang Tang was talking about Yu Shanshan and Yu Xiaochuan. Obviously he misunderstood. Oh, Tang Tang glared at Zhu Yingxiong. Then why don't you make it clear that he's fine? When you have time to see him, tell him that I'm fine too. It's just that Yu Xiaochuan is neurotic. But he didn't do anything bad to me. Okay. But sister-in-law, in fact, Master White Fox is not bad. You can think about it. After Zhu Yingxiong said that, he saw Yu Xiaochuan also got off the car. So he didn't say anything more and said loudly, Goodbye, sister-in-law. Yu Shanshan thought that it was normal for him to call her sister-in-law. So she didn't think there was anything wrong with it. She went back to the car with him. Yu Xiaochuan sent Tang Tang to see Grandpa Tang as usual. Little fatty Zhu Shanshan, wait for me for a while. I'm going to visit Grandpa Tang. Yu Xiaochuan said. Oh, no problem. Zhu Yingxiong was looking for a chance to be intimate with Yu Shanshan. The two of them held hands and got into the car. Yu Shanshan said, Zhu Yingxiong, your friend Xiaochuan doesn't seem to be on good terms with my brother? Did he have something going on with my sister-in-law? Aya, why do you care so much about them? It's fine as long as you like me. They can deal with their own affairs. Besides, your brother didn't say anything. Zhu Yingxiong said. That's true. But have you noticed that my brother seems to have become strange recently? Yu Shanshan asked. I haven't been in contact with your brother before. I don't know what he was like before. Anyway, when I met you, he was already like this. Zhu Yingxiong shrugged and said. I thought he was just a sissy. My brother wasn't like this before. He was a gentleman, but now I can't tell the feeling. Yu Shanshan sighed. Forget it, I can't control him. I'm married to you. so I'm a member of the Zhu family. Yu Shanshan wasn't particularly beautiful, but she was dignified and had a little baby fat. However, when she stood with Zhu Yingxiong, they looked like a couple. Moreover, she was a girl who didn't like to get involved in family affairs. Yu Xiaochuan sent Tang Tang back and went to Tang Fongbai's room. Tang Fongbai gestured for him to sit down, and then couldn't help but sigh. Xiaochuan, you've changed a lot recently. Grandpa Tang, I know, but I can't help it. Yu Xiaochuan was also a little depressed. Now I feel like I'm like a woman. Everything is the same. If it goes on like this, sooner or later I'll be exposed. AI. Tang Fongbai was also a little helpless. He couldn't get rid of Yu Xiaochuan, his grandson-in-law. He didn't want him, but he couldn't not have him. In order to keep the secret, they could only become allies. Try not to say too much. Don't let Tang Tang suspect. It's definitely impossible. Tang Tang will suspect sooner or later. But I thought of a good way here, and I'll discuss it with Grandpa Tang. Yu Xiaochuan said. Oh, what's the good way? Tell me. Tang Fongbai was really helpless. When he heard that there was a good way, he quickly asked. The current way is, I'll let Tang Tang find someone outside, so that she can fool around outside, and definitely won't care about me. Even if she finds out about my problem in the future, we can hold each other's weakness, and it won't be a big problem. Yu Xiaochuan said. Tang Fongbai really didn't know how to complain about Yu Xiaochuan's idea. He thought about it and said, Are you sure that Tang Tang won't talk nonsense? Moreover, if she goes outside to find someone, who will she look for? Don't tell me that you'll let her look for Xiao Chun. That won't only be a disgrace to you, but also to the Tang family. Of course not. Yu Xiaochuan shook his head and said, I have a very good candidate, White Fox Hero. I wonder if Grandpa Tang has heard of him? White Fox Hero. Grandpa Tang's heart tightened. The Tang family was also a branch of a famous righteous sect. Although he didn't personally attend the Songming Righteous and Demonic Summit, the second generation of the Tang family was invited to be an audience. Tang Fongbai had also heard about White Fox Hero's at the summit, but it was just hearsay. In his eyes, White Fox Hero was a very distant person, and he wouldn't have any interaction with him. He was an amazing genius of a higher level, and he wouldn't care about Tang Fongbai at all. But now, Yu Xiaochuan boldly proposed to let Tang Tang have an affair with White Fox Hero. This matter, it sounded a bit reliable. If White Fox Hero and Tang Tang really got together, it would be a good opportunity for the Tang family, and it would be a great help. This was definitely a good thing. Moreover, the most important thing was that White Fox Hero was from the demonic sect. He wouldn't be too disgusted with him, and Yu Xiaochuan practicing the Chrysanthemum treasure book, so this was a good candidate. But the key question was, would he like Tang Tang? Even if Tang Tang offered herself to him, it was hard to say if he would be interested. It seems that Grandpa Tang knows about White Fox Hero. Yu Xiaochuan knew that it was impossible for Grandpa Tang not to know. I know, but what are you so sure about letting White Fox Hero and Tang Tang be together? Is he willing? Tang Fongbai asked. We can think of a way to create opportunities for him and Tang Tang to be alone. It's best to make it more ambiguous, so that they will fall in love over time. Yu Xiaochuan said, As long as you agree, I'll be responsible for thinking of a way. I have no objections. It's a wise decision for you to bring swordsman White Fox over and have him become our backer. Even if our deeds are exposed one day, and we're cast aside and chased by the righteous sects, we can still ask him for help and join the evil cult. Right? Tang Fongbai actually had his own thoughts when he said so. In his eyes, White Fox Hero was just a tool for him to rise to the top. His ultimate goal was to become the demonic sect's master. As his strength improved, Tang Fongbai's appetite grew. On the other hand, Yu Xiaochuan's ambition was even greater than Tang Fongbai's. But now that his gender had changed, his personality had also changed. He was now similar to most women, without much ambition. Instead, he hoped to be with the person he liked. Okay. Yu Xiaochuan wanted Tang Tang and White Fox Hero to be together for his own sake. When he thought of seeing White Fox Hero every day, he would be so happy. Tang Tang still didn't know that she had been privately betrothed by Tang Fongbai, and Yi Xiaochuan to a man called White Fox Hero. She lay in bed, thinking about the bits and pieces of the time she used to be with Xiao Chun. For a moment, she was filled with emotions. Perhaps those beautiful days would never come again. She missed the days when she got up early every morning to sell fried dough sticks with Xiao Chun on the morning market street. How was Kerlin? How was Xiao Chun? Did he get together with Cheng Minjing smoothly? Although Tang Tang had been staying at home recently, she still heard the big news. Moreover, when she went out today, she saw Xiao Xiao and Cheng Mingqiang together. What did it mean? Was Xiao Chun going back to the Xiao family? Tang Tang felt a little sad in her heart, but more than that, she was happy and blessed. She and he both went back and had a different life. Although they liked each other, they didn't make it clear. It was just a beautiful memory. Nothing happened that night. The next morning, Xiao Chun left the Zheng mansion early. Anyway, he was used to getting up early, so he went to the morning market street first. Xiao Chun didn't know why he came here. Maybe it was because it was full of memories. When he saw Tang Tang yesterday, Xiao Chun couldn't calm down for a long time. He didn't know what Yi Xiaochuan was thinking, but when he saw Tang Tang, Xiao Chun couldn't help thinking of the days in the morning market street. When he came to the familiar stall, Kerlin's family was busy. Although it was a noodle stall, because of the good location, the business was much better than before. However, it was not as good as when Xiao Chun was there. Xiao Chun had already put away the mask, so when Kerlin turned around, she saw Xiao Chun standing in front of the noodle stall in a daze. Xiao Chun. Kerlin hadn't seen Xiao Chun for a long time. Although she was a little afraid of Xiao Chun, she was worried about Xiao Chun when he really disappeared. She didn't know how he was, and how he made a living. Oh, Kerlin, how's the business recently? Is there anyone making trouble? Asked Xiao Chun. It's okay, no one is making trouble. Kerlin shook her head. How is Sister Tang Tang? Fortunately, she is engaged to another family. Xiao Chun sighed. You like Sister Tang Tang? Kerlin saw Xiao Chun's lonely expression and guessed. Yes. Xiao Chun nodded and didn't deny it. Kerlin seemed to find that she had misunderstood Xiao Chun a little. Did he actually not like her? The people he liked were Shen Jingxian and Tang Tang? Otherwise, why didn't he set up the stall here after Tang Tang left and never saw her again? Chapter 368. Thinking of this, Kerlin breathed a sigh of relief and dared to talk to Xiao Chun. Do you eat noodles? I'll treat you. 2 bowls. 3 bowls that don't need to be cooked. Just take it away. Xiao Chun wanted to bring back a bowl for eldest young mistress, but logically speaking, Yi Xiaoya should be at home as well. He should bring back 3 bowls. If he only brought back 2 bowls, eldest young mistress might suspect something. How would he know that Yi Xiaoya wasn't at home? Okay. Kerlin quickly filled 3 bowls for Xiao Chun. On the other side, Mother Lin saw Xiao Chun and was grateful. After all, their stall was given by Xiao Chun. She specially filled 2 extra braised eggs for Xiao Chun. Xiao Chun took out 100 yuan and handed it to Kerlin. But Kerlin waved her hand and refused to accept it. Xiao Chun didn't force her. He just said, thank you. If you have any trouble in number 1 middle school, you can find Zhu Yingxiong. Kerlin's impression of Xiao Chun changed a lot. She felt that he was a good person, although he had killed people. When he returned to the villa, Miss obviously hadn't gotten up yet. The villa was quiet. Xiao Chun first went to his room to take a shower and change his clothes. Then he walked to the kitchen. On the other side of the stairs, there were footsteps, but to Xiao Chun's surprise, there were 2 people. He looked back and saw Cheng Minjing and Shen Jingxian. He was slightly surprised. Shen Jingxian lived here the day before yesterday. Was she here last night? No wonder Miss didn't care if he didn't go back. It turned out that someone was accompanying her at home. Otherwise, it would be quite scary if she was alone in such a big villa. Jingxian, you are here too, Xiao Chun said with a smile. But I bought 3 servings of noodles. I didn't expect you to come. How about I don't eat? Otherwise, there won't be enough for little Yi when she comes down. Shen Jingxian cast a cold glance at Xiao Chun and sneered in her heart. He was really good at pretending. Did he say that Yi Xiaoya didn't have enough to eat? Is she at home? Yi Xiaoya isn't here. She went out these days. It's just the three of us. Chung Minjing said. That's great. Wait for me. I'll cook the noodles. Xiao Chen said calmly. Minjing, what kind of lousy manservant is this? He didn't come home at night, but you didn't scold him. Shen Jingxian said indifferently. Chung Minjing was stunned. She looked at Shen Jingxian with some surprise. This wasn't her character. Usually, Shen Jingxian was very kind. She never criticized others. Even if others did something wrong, she would only persuade them with kind words. How could she ridicule them? Minjing, I just think that what he did wasn't very right. It shouldn't be like this. Shen Jingxian also felt that she acted too much. So she restored her usual kind look. Forget it. Who doesn't have something to do? He said that he went to find Zhu Yingxiong. I'll give him a vacation. Anyway, Jingxian, you accompany me. I don't need him. Chung Minjing said. Oh, I'm afraid that he will have a problem if I spoil him. He won't come home at night in the future. Shen Jingxian said. Okay. Xiao Chen, you are not allowed to come home at night in the future. Do you hear me? Chung Minjing said. Okay. Xiao Chen nodded. Soon Xiao Chen served 3 bowls of noodles. When he just wanted to sit down to eat, he heard Shen Jingxian said. Minjing, do the servants of your Chung family eat with the master? Ah. Chung Minjing was stunned. She felt strange. Today, Shen Jingxian seemed to be particularly against Xiao Chen. Did Xiao Chen provoke her? But she didn't think it was anything. Xiao Chen is different from other servants. After all, well, seeing that he is your ex-fiancé, let him sit here. Shen Jingxian said. What ex-fiancé? Xiao Chen, you go to the kitchen and eat by yourself. Chung Minjing suddenly blushed and drove Xiao Chen away. Xiao Chen suddenly didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Why isn't it over yet? I clearly have nothing to do with Yi Xiaoya. Ugh, is there really nothing to do with it? Xiao Chen was a little guilty. In the current situation, Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoya seemed to have a little unclear relationship. However, since the Missy had spoken, Xiao Chen had no choice but to carry the bowl to the kitchen to eat. He thought to himself, why is Shen Jingmao's mouth so cheap? She says everything, just like a loudspeaker forcing customers. Jingxian, you seem to dislike Xiao Chen a little? Chung Minjing noticed the problem and lowered her voice to ask, did he provoke you? No. Shen Jingxian pretended to be calm and shook her head. Wasn't it my boyfriend who cheated on me? I just remembered that he used to be your fiancé, but he still pursued me. Isn't it the same? He is a playboy. Just looking at him makes me angry. Shen Jingshuan's words were ambiguous. Xiao Chen listened to it. In fact, she was talking about him from the beginning to the end, and Shen Jingxian also wanted to express this meaning. However, Chung Minjing would naturally think that the first part was Shen Jingshuan's boyfriend, and the second part was Xiao Chen. She automatically ignored that the he in the second half of the sentence actually referred to the former boyfriend. Gosh, it turns out that Xiao Chen is unjustly implicated. Chung Minjing shrugged. Well, I didn't care before. Why do you care? Besides, we are best friends. Liking you and liking me has nothing to do with each other. Moreover, I don't want to be engaged to him. And yes, we are best friends. Shen Jingxian was suddenly very happy after listening, although she knew that Chung Minjing said it unintentionally. Xiao Chen was a little silent in the kitchen. He didn't know how to explain. He also saw that Shen Jingxian was careful in front of Chung Minjing. Suddenly, he felt that he was a little sorry for her. Even if there was nothing between him and Yi Xiaoya, he didn't want to give up Tang Tang. This was a bit unfair for Shen Jingxian. She was so wronged and secretly with him, and Xiao Chen wanted to find a chance to explain to her. But now it seemed that Shen Jingxian didn't give him a chance to explain at all. Now no matter what he said, Shen Jingxian couldn't believe it. After all, her brother had been with her for more than 10 years. Would she believe her brother or herself? Moreover, her brother didn't lie to her. It was just a misunderstanding, due to a combination of factors. While eating the noodles, Shen Jingxian was a little surprised. Where did you buy such delicious noodles? Haven't you eaten it before? Morning Market Street. Kurlin's family sold it. It's Xiao Chen's little lover at school. Chung Minjing said lightly. Ah, it's her. Shen Jingshuan's expression just became a little gloomy again. Is Xiao Chen still in contact with her? Who knows? I'm too lazy to ask. Anyway, he's not my fiancé now. Besides, even if he is, isn't it the same thing? Your matter has also made me a lot more open-minded. Thinking so much is just asking for trouble. Now that I have nothing to do with him, I want to enjoy the life of a single princess. I don't care about him, Cheng Minjing said, pretending not to care. In fact, she couldn't control Xiao Chen. What could she do to him? You have a good attitude, Shen Jingxian thought. Was she too stubborn? By the way, Jingxian, what are you going to do later? Cheng Minjing asked. Beibei and Lu Jinming are coming today. We're going out for a walk. Are you going? Oh, I'll go. I'm free anyway. Shen Jingxian didn't know what she was thinking. She hated Xiao Chen, but she still wanted to be with him. As expected, before long, the sound of a car came from outside the villa. It was Jin Beibei and Lu Jinming. It was the first time for Lu Jinming to come to Cheng Minjing's villa. He seemed a little excited and happy. Hey little Lu, you can look around but don't touch. Cousin Minjing likes cleanliness. She is a neat freak. Jin Beibei warned. When she came just now, she saw Lu Jinming waiting at the gate of the villa. So she brought him in. Okay. Lu Jinming nodded. He was about to sit on the sofa when he was scolded. Hey, are your ears not working well when I talk to you? Jin Beibei slapped Lu Jinming hard, making him stagger. I told you that cousin Minjing is a neat freak, but you still sit on the sofa. Do you want to be kicked out? Oh, okay. Lu Jinming nodded and did not dare to move anymore. He turned around and saw Xiao Chen eating noodles in the kitchen. He thought to himself that he was indeed a servant. His treatment was not good at all. He could not even sit on the table. However, he felt a lot better. Previously, he had thought that Xiao Chen and Cheng Minjing had an affair in private, and that Xiao Chen was deliberately tricking him. But now, it seemed that this was not the case. The main thing was that Xiao Chen's own status was not high, and there was indeed a limit to how much he could help him. Boss Xiao Chen, are you eating noodles? It's plate noodles. Plate noodles are my favorite. Do you have more? Asked Lu Jinming. Xiao Chen pointed at the pot behind him and said, There's more in the pot. You can take it out and eat it yourself. Although Xiao Chen had asked for 3 bowls of plate noodles, Mama Lin had given him enough for 4 to 5 bowls. Also, Cheng Minjing and Shen Jingxian could not eat much either. Even though Xiao Chen was a big eater, there was still some left. Haha, great. Lu Jinming scooped up all the noodles in the pot with a bowl. Then he seasoned it with the spicy soup and put an egg on it. Wow, it looked so good. Lu Jinming took out his phone, took a picture, and shared it on his WeChat moments. After he was done, he was about to eat when he suddenly remembered that Jin Beibei said that Cheng Minjing liked cleanliness. It did not seem appropriate for him to eat without washing his hands. Therefore, he went to wash his hands. When he came back from washing his hands, he saw that Jin Beibei was already sitting there and eating his bowl of noodles. He wanted to cry but had no tears. Beibei, that noodles are mine, right? Where is your name? Jin Beibei took a bite and asked, What proof do you have? But it's really mine. Lu Jinming said, Well, look, I even took a picture and shared it on my WeChat moments. Oh, then it's yours. Jin Beibei put down her chopsticks. Chapter 369. Lu Jinming's eyes were brimming with tears. Is she going to give it back to me? Although Jin Beibei was a violent girl, she was also a pretty girl. He did not mind the food that she had tasted before. However, when he was about to go over, Jin Beibei continued. It's yours. I've eaten it. Do you have a problem with that? Jin Beibei squinted at Lu Jinming. It's said that cousin Minjing hates stingy boys the most. Dazed, Lu Jinming said in a hurry. Of course not. You can eat it. Lu Jinming thought to himself. Why am I always the one who gets hurt? However, he could only hold it in. As it turned out, he saw Shen Jingxian the moment he turned around. What a beauty! She seems to be on par with Cheng Minjing. Where does this beauty come from? He vaguely remembered that he had seen her before. She was with Chen Jinping. Shen Jingxian had an indescribable air of sunshine about her. All the boys would be fascinated by her when they saw her. It was a natural-born attraction. Although the young lady was pretty, she was cold and arrogant. She was cold to everybody at school. Therefore, there were not as many people who pursued her as Shen Jingxian. Lu Zhenming thought quickly. He pursued Cheng Minjing for two reasons. Firstly, Cheng Minjing was pretty. Secondly, Cheng Minjing's family background. He did not have any deeper feelings for Cheng Minjing. After all, how long had he known Cheng Minjing? But now, in the face of Cheng Minjing's repeated defeats, Cheng Minjing did not seem to like him at all, and there was no progress for so long. He was thinking that the person beside Cheng Minjing, who could be together with Cheng Minjing, should not have a simple background, right? Just like Jin Beibei. However, Lu Zhenming did not dare to chase after Jin Beibei because he did not want to die yet. If he was killed, he would have died in vain. Given the temper of the Golden Fur Lion King, his family would not be able to handle it. As for Shen Jingxian, although she used to be with Chen Jinping, now that Chen Jinping was dead, did she have a chance? Thinking of this, Lu Zhenming suddenly felt a little excited. Minjing, this beauty is? Lu Zhenming asked politely. Shen Jingxian, my good friend when I was in number 1 middle school. Cheng Minjing did not put on a cold face. After all, she had come to her home, so she had to deal with her. Haha, Shen Jingxian. I am Lu Zhenming from the Lu family of the Songning aristocratic family. Nice to meet you. Lu Zhenming reached out his hand and wanted to shake hands with Shen Jingxian. Shen Jingxian was a kind person, although she did not want to shake hands with Lu Zhenming. Lu Zhenming had reached out his hand, which put her in a dilemma. If she did not respond, she would embarrass him. If she responded, she would be unwilling. What Lu family of Songning? There is no need to ask. They are from the Shen family of Jinwu. Xiao Chen slapped Lu Zhenming's hand away, walked over and said, do you still want to know whether she has a boyfriend or not? Let me tell you, she does. Her boyfriend is the white fox. If you keep talking, be careful that the white fox comes and kills you. Lu Zhenming was shocked, and he took 2 steps back with a shiver. Oh my god, the Shen family of Jinwu? This was the top family in the province. Even the Cheng family could not compare. Moreover, especially the last sentence of Xiao Chen, Shen Jingshuan's current boyfriend is the white fox hero? He was so scared that he almost peed his pants. This was an existence that he couldn't provoke. He was almost done for. If he revealed anything to Shen Jingxian, he would be hated by the white fox swordsman. He wouldn't even know how he died. Shen Jingxian glanced at Xiao Chen and felt a little better. It seemed that Xiao Chen still cared about her, but what he said was also very funny. What did he mean by be careful that the white fox comes and kills you? Wasn't he the white fox? Aha! It turns out to be the white fox hero. I say, only the white fox hero is worthy of such a beautiful girl. Lu Zhenming said quickly. Lu Zhenming, what do you mean? Are you saying that I am not beautiful? Cheng Minjing stared at Lu Zhenming. No, you are worthy of the white fox hero. Lu Zhenming said quickly. Why should I be worthy of him? I don't like him. Cheng Minjing snorted and said. Besides, I can't steal a man from Jingxian, right? Right. Shen Jingshuan's heart trembled a little. Actually, Minjing, if you like him, you can also steal him. It's okay. We are sisters. We can share good things. Okay. It's better to share it with others than to enjoy it alone. Jin Beibei said while eating the noodles. Share your head. Eat your noodles. Cheng Minjing kicked Jin Beibei. Yes, Miss Shen. Can you introduce me to the white fox hero? I admire him very much. Lu Zhenming asked shamelessly. Yesterday, he had just discussed the future direction of the Lu family with his father, Lu Siwen. Because he was not young anymore, Lu Siwen intended to train him to take over the family. Sometimes intentionally or unintentionally, he would talk to him. However, Lu Zhenming was really a useless person. But some of the opinions he proposed last night were refreshing to Lu Siwen. He thought to himself that this guy was a little more enlightened recently. What Lu Zhenming proposed was whether he could have a good relationship with the white fox hero. After all, he was a rising star of the Righteous Devil Summit in Songning. He was well known in Songning. Moreover, he was a disciple of a big sect with outstanding strength. If he could support him, even if it meant getting close to the Lu family, It would be greatly beneficial for the Liu family to maintain their status as an aristocratic family. After all, the Liu family was now an aristocratic family of the underworld. Compared with the other aristocratic families, it was really not on the same level. As long as a new aristocratic family rose, the Liu family might be squeezed out. Originally, the Liu family was not so worried when the Xiao family was in a precarious situation. After all, if they wanted to squeeze out, they would have to squeeze out the Xiao family first. But now it was different. The Xiao family not only cooperated with the Sun family in a neighboring city, but also had a marriage alliance with the Chung family. In this way, the Xiao family, which was originally at its end, suddenly began to show signs of rising again. And the Liu family became the lowest aristocratic family again. How could Liu Siwen not be anxious? Previously, in order to get closer to the ranks of the aristocratic families, Liu Siwen had used the Liu family's funds to invest in a serious business, such as real estate, car sales center, etc., spending most of the Liu family's money. Now the Liu family had the title of an aristocratic family. It belonged to the upper class of Songning City. It often participated in some upper-class gatherings. It had certain connections that could ensure the normal operation of the business. But once you were kicked out of this circle, your connections would not work. People would not do business with you. And the bank would start to urge for loans. Wouldn't that be the rhythm of bankruptcy? So Liu Siwen was very troubled. How could he ensure that the Liu family's aristocratic family status would not fall? As a result, Liu Zhenming proposed to kneel and lick the white fox. In fact, there was one thing that Liu Zhenming didn't dare to say. He vaguely remembered that the white fox hero seemed to have fought in his underground black boxing arena. At that time he wanted to teach him a lesson. Now it seemed that it was a good thing that he didn't teach him a lesson. Otherwise he would be dead. Although he didn't know if the two white fox heroes were the same. Thinking about it, if I had seized the opportunity, maybe the Liu family would have become rich? But he also pretended not to know about these things. Liu Siwen clapped his hands and agreed at once. As an underworld family, the Liu family had more reliable information channels than other aristocratic families. Why would the police look for informants to solve many cases? That was because this group of people in the marketplace was usually very well informed. If others didn't know, they would be the first to know. One of the reasons why the Liu family was able to rise to the top was that they secretly sold information to the warrior guild. Some of the secret information was sold by the Liu family. Therefore, in the evaluation of the aristocratic families, the warrior guild made the final decision and upgraded the Liu family to an aristocratic family. Of course, that was also because the Zheng family was not up to par. However, if there were other families like the Sun family that rose and migrated to Songning City, they could completely replace the Liu family. The Liu family wouldn't even have a place to complain, because only in the cities with the warrior guild would the aristocratic families be recognized by the martial arts circle. Those self-titled aristocratic families in other cities were useless. Without the recognition of the warrior guild, you didn't have convenient resources. You could only be regarded as a local tyrant, and couldn't be compared to others. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a problem for the Liu family to call themselves the 10th aristocratic family. But the key was that they couldn't be recognized. Moreover, the most important problem was that there were only 9 aristocratic families in the location of each warrior guild. This was the rule of the upper headquarters, and one more was not allowed. Therefore, even if you had a good relationship with the warrior guild, they couldn't give you more. Previously, the Sun family had been working hard in the direction of an aristocratic family, so they only wanted to replace one. They didn't want to establish it themselves directly. In addition to the martial arts family, the location of the Hong Chamber of Commerce would also select a few business families. Although there was no specific number, the number of each place had been fixed since the beginning, and there was no increase or decrease. When one rose, there must be a fall. This was also for balance. Previously, the Sun family wanted to replace the Xie family and become a business family. But now that the Xie family couldn't be replaced, they turned their attention to the Xiao family and wanted to become a martial arts family. During this time, The Sun family had been stirring up trouble. Lu Siwen was afraid that they would come to Songning City. Lu Siwen didn't think that the Sun family would annex the Xiao family. After all, the Xiao family and the Cheng family were united by marriage. Would the Sun family dare to annex them? In his opinion, the Sun family should want to establish themselves. It didn't matter if he didn't pay attention to it. But once he paid attention, he found many unknown secrets. The re-emergence of the Xie family and the retreat of the Sun family were closely related to a person named White Fox. Although there was no evidence that these were all done by White Fox, it was indeed a big reversal after White Fox intervened. According to his investigation, Xie Fei should be White Fox's woman. In addition, the news of White Fox's name in Songning spread. Lu Siwen increasingly felt that White Fox was not simple. This was the rhythm of the family, relying on the family to prosper. If the Lu family really relied on the family, he would really have no worries. Chapter 370. Therefore, Lu Siwen agreed with Lu Zhenming's words. Zhenming, are you confident that you can establish a relationship with Hero White Fox? I think so, right? Lu Zhenming thought about it. I feel that if I am more attentive and be his underling, he should be able to accept me, right? Lu Zhenming said this without blushing because he didn't think it was shameful. Looking at Zheng Xiaoquan's attitude yesterday, he definitely wanted to have a good relationship with Hero White Fox. After all, it was an honor to be able to lick the boots of a person who was much higher than you. It was something that others would be envious of. It was not shameful at all. Therefore, Lu Zhenming felt that if he succeeded, it would be worth showing off. Are you sincere or not? Are you taking advantage of him? Or do you really want to do so? Lu Siwen understood Lu Zhenming's character. Although Lu Zhenming didn't say what he was doing in school, Lu Siwen had a lot of information channels. He was also asking people to pay attention to whether Lu Zhenming had successfully pursued Cheng Minjing. Of course, he didn't have much hope, but he got a lot of news. In school, Lu Zhenming pretended to please Xiao Chun in order to get close to Cheng Minjing. Therefore, if Lu Zhenming still had such thoughts, then he should not contact Hero White Fox as soon as possible. Hero White Fox was not Xiao Chun. It would only take a second for him to kill Lu Zhenming. Even the Lu family's ancestor didn't know if he could defeat him. But even if he could, he had the backing of a big sect. Would he dare to seek revenge on him? Of course I'm sincere, Lu Zhenming said. If I can be the underling of Hero White Fox, how awe-inspiring would that be? The other aristocratic families would probably be envious of me. According to Zheng Xiaoquan, he saw from afar that at the end of the summit, Yu Xiaochuan and Cheng Mingxiang were respectful and fawning on White Fox. Alright, if you want to you can give it a try. Our Lu family's resources are at your disposal. Lu Siwen nodded and said. This happened yesterday, so Lu Zhenming was worried about how to get close to the White Fox swordsman. Zheng Xiaoquan's relationship with the White Fox swordsman was just SOO. Zheng Xiaoquan could bring him to the scene, but he might not be able to interact with him. Just as he was worrying about this, an opportunity presented itself today. This was the White Fox swordsman's girlfriend. Introduce you? Let him come to our house. That's fine, but Master White Fox loves beautiful women. I'm afraid that after he sees Menjing, he'll fall in love with Menjing again. You won't have a chance then. Shen Jingxian was actually insinuating and mocking Xiao Chun. Ah, that's fine too. If Great Hero White Fox likes her, then Great Hero White Fox can have priority. I can't possibly snatch boss's woman. Ha ha. Lu Zhenming was dazed for a second and said. In fact, he pursued Cheng Minjing mostly because of Cheng Minjing's family background. Apart from that, it wasn't like he didn't have any beautiful women. Just like Lin from No. 1 middle school, she wasn't any worse than Cheng Minjing. It was just that her family background was much worse. Therefore, if Lu Zhenming could successfully curry favor with the White Fox swordsman, then it wouldn't matter if Cheng Minjing pursued him or not. It was quite difficult to pursue him. If she couldn't catch up with him, then forget it. The White Fox swordsman was more important. Cheng Minjing was dazed for a second. She didn't expect the White Fox swordsman to be so powerful. Even Lu Zhenming gave up? She suddenly felt lucky that he finally gave up. Therefore, she said deliberately, "Well, I also admire the white fox swordsman a little. If Jingxian can share him, I can consider it." Yes. But I still think the cousin-in-law is better. The white fox swordsman is too far away. Jean Bebe, however, said, "Why don't we share the cousin-in-law?" "Bebe, calm down and eat your noodles," Cheng Minjing said angrily. "But I've finished it," Jean Bebe said bitterly. "Drink the soup after you finish it. Don't waste it," Cheng Minjing said. "Eat it all, don't waste it," Cheng Minjing said. "Okay." Jean Bebe continued to drink the soup. Xiao Chun felt that something was wrong, but he didn't know what to say. Looking at Lu Jinming's silly look, he was a little speechless. This guy really doesn't know how lucky he is. He has already become my follower, but he still wants to find the white fox swordsman. After dinner, the five of them went out to play. Since he had the idea of befriending the white fox swordsman, he didn't want to pursue Cheng Minjing anymore. He had always been a playboy. When had he ever pursued a girl so seriously for such a long time? He had gotten the other girls long ago. Previously, he did it for the Cheng family. Now that he didn't need to do it, he didn't want to waste his energy. He said, "Miss Shun, can you ask your boyfriend out so that we can have some fun together?" "He's very busy and can't come out," Shen Jingxian said. "Oh, forget it. I'll go to the summit tonight. Can you help me ask him out alone and introduce him to me?" Lu Jinming said, unwilling to give up. "We'll see," Shen Jingxian said. Okay. Thank you, Miss Shun." Lu Jinming was overjoyed. Jean Bebe drove her nouveau riche car, while Lu Jinming drove an Audi Q7. Naturally, Cheng Minjing and Shen Jingxian got into Jean Bebe's car. Xiao Chun thought for a while, and also got into Jean Bebe's car. Lu Jinming drove in front to lead the way. "By the way, Bebe, didn't you run out of gas on Friday? Do you need to fill it up?" Cheng Minjing suddenly thought of it when they passed by the gas station at the entrance of the neighborhood. "Oh, I heard that the gas price will be reduced tomorrow, so I filled it up today," Jean Bebe said. Cheng Minjing didn't understand Jean Bebe's thinking. The gas price will be reduced tomorrow, so you filled it up today? What kind of logic was that? You have nowhere to spend your money. "Oh, Xiao Lu spent it," Jean Bebe said. Uft. Cheng Minjing thought to herself that Lu Jinming was really unlucky. Yeah. Otherwise, do you think I would have brought him to the villa? Let him wait at the entrance. Jean Bebe said. Lu Jinming originally wanted to go for an outing today. However, because he had to watch the competition at night, and had an important mission, which was to get to know swordsman White Fox, he had to change his schedule. He planned to bring Cheng Minjing and the rest to the amusement park. Anyway, it would be best if he could catch up with Cheng Minjing. If he couldn't, he wouldn't force it. He planned to find a chance to talk to Xiao Chun in detail, and see if he had a chance. By the way, cousin-in-law, where have you been these 2 days? I heard that Zhu Yingxiong found a girlfriend. Have you seen her? I heard that she's very scary. Jean Bebe said. Xiao Chun was a little speechless. She's also your cousin-in-law, right? She's quite pretty. How is she scary? Don't listen to other people's nonsense. Oh, all right. I thought she was a fatty like Zhu Yingxiong, Jean Bebe said. Bebe, you and Minjing don't seem to have a good relationship with the Zhu family? Xiao Chun asked doubtfully. Xiao Chun didn't see Zhu Yingxiong at Cheng Minjing's birthday party. Of course, it was one reason why he was under house arrest and cultivating in seclusion. However, that wasn't the main reason. The deeper reason seemed to be that the Zhu family, the Cheng family, and the Jean family were not very sociable. The Zhu family, in order to develop themselves, they married their daughter to the Cheng family and the Jean family. That's my mother and Bebe's mother, Cheng Minjing explained. After that, the Zhu family's elder ancestor returned. The Zhu family became powerful, and they became a little arrogant. They used to be the Cheng family's vassals, but now, they have their own opinions and voice. Therefore, they have less contact with us. Of course, this is the matter of the big families. It doesn't have much to do with us. However, we didn't have much contact since we were young. On the contrary, Bebe and I hung out more, so we're not familiar with each other. I see. Xiao Chun nodded. He really didn't pay attention to the situation of these families before. He focused on cultivating his internal strength, but it was all in vain in the end. Fortunately, he had the elder heaven ancestor, so he could cultivate. Their car arrived at the largest temple fair street in Songning City. There were many vendors selling everything from toys, food, and daily necessities. There were also all kinds of entertainment, including video games, darts, hoops, shooting games, and so on. At the end of the Temple Fair Street was the largest amusement park in the city. However, the car definitely couldn't go there. They parked the car in the parking lot near the Temple Fair Street. After getting off the car, Lu Jinming asked, "Are we going to the Temple Fair Street or the amusement park?" "Beibei, what do you think?" Cheng Minjing looked at Jean Beibei. "Of course we're going to the amusement park." Jean Beibei clapped her hands and said, "Your sister Jingxian isn't in a good mood. Let's go to the Temple Fair Street." Cheng Minjing didn't want to go to the amusement park. She could see that Shen Jingxian wasn't in a good mood. She definitely wouldn't want to go to the amusement park. It was better to go shopping and relax. "Then why did you ask me?" Jean Beibei was speechless. "Cousin Minjing tricked me. I'm just asking you. If you want to go to the Temple Fair Street, I agree. If you want to go to the amusement park, I object," Cheng Minjing said. After confirming the itinerary, Lu Jinming didn't really care. As long as Cheng Minjing was willing, it was fine. He smiled and said, "Then let's go to the Temple Fair Street. To be honest, I haven't been here for a long time. Speaking of which, the elders in my family brought me here when I was young." Although the Temple Fair Street was bustling, the children of the big families rarely came here. Firstly, the items here were of low quality. Secondly, they had grown up and didn't find this place interesting anymore. After entering the Temple Fair Street, the dazzling accessories and daily necessities attracted Cheng Minjing and Jean Beibei. In the big shopping malls, there definitely weren't so many kinds of things. Although the quality of the items here was obviously not as good as those in the big shopping malls, it was quite refreshing. Jean Beibei stopped asking to go to the amusement park and started shopping together. However, Lu Jinming felt a little bored. If they went to the amusement park, he could go to the exciting amusement park with Cheng Minjing. However, in this place, he couldn't get a word in the dazzling items at all. He didn't know what they were for either. Therefore, he could only follow behind as a bodyguard like Xiao Chun. Chapter 371. "Xiao Chun, your daily life is boring enough." Lu Jinming thought, "If I don't come, it is estimated that Xiao Chun will follow me alone. How boring it is." Moreover, his desire to pursue Cheng Minjing had faded, and he no longer respected Xiao Chun. If he could successfully lick the boots of the white fox, he didn't intend to focus on Cheng Minjing. It would be great if he could succeed, but he wouldn't regret it if he couldn't. Therefore, he used to call Xiao Chun or Xiao Chun boss. Now he directly called him Xiao Chun. "It's okay," Xiao Chun said indifferently. "Why? You don't want to pursue her?" Xiao Chun was very keen. He roughly saw Lu Jinming's thoughts. Although he didn't know why he gave up, it seemed that he didn't want to continue. "It's not that I don't want to pursue her, but Cheng Minjing doesn't seem to have much feelings for me." "Xiao Chun, what kind of boy do you think she likes?" asked Lu Jinming. "It doesn't matter what kind of boy she likes. The main thing is the Cheng family's intention. I used to be her fiancé. Now with a word from the Cheng family, I'm not." Xiao Chun saw that he was not interested, and he was too lazy to pretend to be courteous with him. This guy's value was not as good as Chen Jinping. He couldn't squeeze anything out of him. Besides, Xiao Chun wasn't short of money now. "I see." Lu Jinming seemed to be enlightened after listening, and then he patted Xiao Chun's shoulder. "This sentence is right on the point. The money I spent on you during this time is not in vain. However, Xiao Chun, if you say that my family goes to the Cheng family to propose marriage, will the Cheng family agree?" "No," Xiao Chun said straightforwardly. Even if he could, he couldn't. "Why?" Lu Jinming asked blankly. The Chao family went to propose marriage, but they didn't give a clear answer. The Cheng family is now waiting for the best price. Besides, they just married the Xiao family. It's impossible for them to marry again in a short time. Xiao Chun bluffed. What he said seemed to be a problem, but in fact, it didn't make any sense at all. The marriage between the Chung family and the Xiao family didn't affect the marriage with other families at all. However, after Lu Zhenming heard it, he nodded in agreement and said, "That makes sense. Xiao Chen, do you think I should continue to pursue Qing Minjing? How would I know? Do as you see fit." If Xiao Chen said no, Lu Zhenming was a very suspicious person. Who knew he might suspect something? Xiao Chen would let Lu Zhenming think about it himself. That was his problem. "Well, I'll go back and think about it." Lu Zhenming nodded. While they were talking, they suddenly heard a quarrel in front of them. Many people surrounded them. Cheng Minjing, Jin Beibei, and Shen Jingxian also went to watch the show. Xiao Chen and Lu Zhenming also followed them. To Xiao Chen's surprise, Xiao Chen knew the person who was quarreling. It turned out to be Lin. Xiao Chen didn't expect that Lin would appear here. Apparently, Lin didn't come here alone. She was accompanied by a young girl, who looked familiar to Xiao Chen. However, he couldn't remember where he had seen her. However, Xiao Chen was sure that they had met before. "Give me back my binoculars." The girl beside Lin stared at the two men in front of her fiercely and stretched out her hand. "It's just a binoculars. Why are you so stingy? You have a big bag. Don't you think I'll pay you?" The man said indifferently, "I didn't say that I would sell it to you. Who cares about your money? Here you are." The girl still had 100 yuan in her hand. 100 yuan is not enough for you to buy a binoculars? What's wrong with you? Don't waste my time. I'm busy. The man frowned and ignored the girl. He picked up the binoculars and looked at them. Hearing that, Xiao Chen was enlightened. He remembered who the girl was. "Isn't she the girl who sold my binoculars to me in the Warriors Guild? Her binoculars cost 10,000 yuan. It was a sky-high price. In the end, the cost of the binoculars was only a few dozen yuan. The quality and workmanship of the binoculars were much worse than those used by the military." This girl was indeed Lu Shuangshuang. Lu Shuangshuang's home was also in Shanty Town. She was neighbors with Lin. She had a sick grandmother and a younger brother who was in middle school. Her parents divorced when they were very young. No one wanted them, so they only lived with their grandmother. It was said that their mother married a rich family, and their father was a gambler, so no one cared about them. In the past, it was their grandmother who collected trash to support them. Now that their grandmother was sick, Lu Shuangshuang had to drop out of school early to shoulder the burden of the family. Her grandmother's illness was relatively rare. It was a blood disease. As she got older, the treatment for bone marrow transplant was very shared. Moreover, the medical fees were very high. So, she could only take medicine every month to maintain her condition. Even so, the monthly medical fees were as high as 10,000 yuan. For a weak girl like Lu Shuangshuang, it was an astronomical sum. For a girl of her age, when her family was in trouble, and she was in urgent need of money, there were only two paths she could take. She could either be a mistress or be sold, or she could go down the evil path and steal. But Lu Shuangshuang did not do that. She was a girl with self-respect. With her strong willpower, she managed to convince Tai Muching of the Hong Chamber of Commerce to let her run the binoculars business in the Warriors Guild. Although each binoculars had to be sold in half, the profit was enough to satisfy Lu Shuangshuang. One binoculars had a profit of nearly 5,000 yuan. On average, she could sell 2 or 3 binoculars every month. This way, her medical fees and her brother's school fees would be settled. Of course, she could not sell 2 or 3 binoculars every month. Some months there were more, and some months there were none. And this month it was the peak season, because the Righteous and Demonic Songming Summit was being held. Other than the warriors who participated in the challenge, there were many warriors who came to watch the show. They would also wander around the Warriors Guild. This way, they would become Lu Shuangshuang's business partners. Lu Shuangshuang had just bought a batch of binoculars and stuck the Hong Chamber of Commerce's logo on it. She did not expect that one of them would be snatched away by someone. If it was an ordinary binocular without a logo, Lu Shuangshuang would have given it to him. After all, the purchase price of 30 yuan wasn't much, not to mention that the person had given her 100 yuan. However, the binoculars with the logo were different. The logo alone was worth 5,000 yuan. Binoculars without the logo were private goods. She could not bring them into the Warriors Guild, because there were guards at the entrance of the Warriors Guild. In the Warriors Guild, only items from the Hong Chamber of Commerce could be sold. Other than that, there were no other shops. This was a rule that had been established a long time ago, when the Warriors Guild was established. That was why Lu Shuangshuang was anxious. If it was snatched away, wouldn't she be making a huge loss? Moreover, once the logo was stuck on, it could not be taken off. It was fragile with lasers. If it was taken off, it would be damaged. It's not enough, Lu Shuangshuang said. Give it back to me quickly. How much do you want? The man asked impatiently. 10,000 yuan. Lu Shuangshuang said. If not, give it back to me. F*ck. The man was furious. Pa! He threw the binoculars in his hand on the ground. It broke into pieces, and the parts were everywhere. Are you F*king scamming me? Little girl, let me tell you, even if you want to scam people, you have to choose a good target. Do you know who I am? You. I don't care who you are. Give me 10,000 yuan. You broke my binoculars. He didn't want to sell it to you. If you think it's expensive, you don't want it, but you can't break it. Lu Shuangshuang was anxious. Did you see that? This little girl is scamming people. She dares to ask me for 10,000 yuan for a broken binoculars? Have you gone crazy thinking about money? The man laughed out loud. The onlookers around also had all kinds of opinions. Some people sided with Lu Shuangshuang and thought that she was right. He didn't want to sell it to you. If you forced him to buy it, then there was nothing wrong with him asking for 10,000 yuan. But some people thought that Lu Shuangshuang was using this opportunity to scam people. How much can this broken binoculars cost? There is a wholesale stall not far away. It's only 30 to 40 yuan. Giving you 100 yuan is already a high price. They only sell it for 50 yuan. Alright brother Ma, give her another 500 yuan. Let's go. Don't waste time here. Another man beside the arrogant man spoke. Then I will listen to you. The man called Brother Ma took out another 500 yuan from his pocket and threw it in front of Lu Shuangshuang. I will give you another 500 yuan. Is that okay? What okay? You broke my binoculars. Hurry up and give me 10,000 yuan. Otherwise, I will call the police. Lu Shuangshuang was anxious. What can 500 yuan do? The cost is 5,030 yuan. F*ck. I'm giving you face, aren't I? You think I don't dare to hit a woman? Brother Ma was anxious. You F*king want 10,000 yuan for a broken binoculars? Why don't you say that your binoculars are gold-rimmed? Don't be angry. Shuangshuang's binoculars are indeed worth 10,000 yuan. I can testify to this. Kerlin said weakly. She knew Lu Shuangshuang's family situation and knew about her binoculars. So she said, how about you give her 5,000 yuan for the cost, and I won't take your money? You can testify. Brother Ma looked like he heard the funniest joke in the world. You two are in cahoots. What's the use of you testifying? I think you two have gone crazy thinking about money. How about this? You two sleep with me and Brother Chu, and I will give you both 10,000 yuan each. You. Don't insult us. Kerlin was a little anxious. We were just talking about the binoculars. Don't say such unpleasant things. If you don't want to listen, then go away. I am leaving. Brother Ma snorted and reached out to push Kerlin and Lu Shuangshuang away. Chapter 372. Xin Jingxian walked over and said, You guys can't be reasonable. I watched from the side for a while and understood what happened. They didn't want to sell you the telescope, but you forced them to buy it. They didn't want it, but you insisted on buying it. In the end, they had no choice but to sell it. They offered 10,000 yuan, but you didn't accept it. You could have just returned the telescope to them, and everything would have been fine. But you broke the telescope, and that's your fault. It's not good for you to do that. You should compensate them 10,000 yuan. Her personality was like this. She used to be like this in school. Actually, it wasn't that she was a busybody. In fact, she was the kind of person who would reason with others. The incident didn't involve Kerlin, so Xiao Chen didn't plan on doing anything. To be honest, He didn't have a good impression of Lu Shuangshuang. He had been blackmailed before, but he had won. Looking at her sour face, it was as if she had given him some kind of treasure. Xiao Chen thought, why is this girl so stingy? Why is she so distressed over a telescope? Now that he thought about it, she was too much of a money grubber. Of course, Xiao Chen didn't know that the Hong Chamber of Commerce took such a large cut. If he knew, he wouldn't have thought anything was wrong. Now that Lin was speaking up for Lu Shuangshuang, Xiao Chen was a little confused. Why was Lin playing with a money grubber like Lu Shuangshuang? Just as he was wondering, Shen Jingxian spoke up for her. Ah, big sister Jingxian. Lin knew Shen Jingxian. They were in the same school. Seeing Shen Jingxian speak up for her, she was very grateful. What? So what if you have more people? Let me tell you, it's none of your business. Go away and don't hurt yourself. Senior brother Chu, tell them who we are. Don't think that we're easy to bully. Junior brother Ma snorted. We're martial artists. Let me tell you, we don't want to cause trouble. Don't cause trouble for your family when the time comes. Senior brother Chu was starting to get impatient. He coldly snorted and revealed their identities. We're martial artists. Let me tell you this. Although most people did not know about martial artists, in his opinion, these scammers would definitely know about it. If he said it to scare them, they would stop. Since we're on the same path, it'll be even easier. Shen Jingxian frowned slightly. She had always disliked using her identity and reputation as a member of the Shen family to oppress others. However, since this person had revealed his identity as a martial artist, Shen Jingxian could only use her own identity to explain things. Actually, Shen Jingxian preferred to use her own way of expressing herself to make them realize their mistake. I'm from the Shen family of Zhenwu. My name is Shen Jingxian. Since we're all martial artists, let's not make a big deal out of this. 10,000 yuan isn't much. You're the one who wanted to buy it, not the other way around, right? The Shen family of Zhenwu. Senior brother Chu was slightly taken aback. He hadn't expected to run into someone of the same level here. However, he wasn't afraid. It was just as he'd said. They didn't want to make a big deal out of it. After all, the organizers of the Songning Summit had clearly stated that they weren't allowed to cause trouble in the secular world. They couldn't attack ordinary people at will. The Supernatural Investigation Bureau had already gotten involved, so they couldn't do whatever they wanted in the secular world. Don't use this to pressure us. It's useless. Let me tell you, we're from the Golden Bell sect. We're not afraid of you. No matter what, this telescope is worth 10,000 yuan. So don't meddle in other people's business. If there's nothing else, hurry up and leave. Otherwise I won't dare hit them, but I can hit you. Since you're from the Zhenwu family, you should understand that there are no taboos between us. Junior brother Ma threatened faintly. He could tell at a glance that Shen Jingxian didn't have much strength. This was why he dared to threaten her. Xiao Chen, you still dare to cause trouble? Jingxian is in trouble. Can't you stand up for her? Cheng Minjing glared at Xiao Chen behind her and said with some dissatisfaction. In fact, she wanted to urge Lu Zhenming to make a move. It was just that Xiao Chen couldn't help but smile bitterly. If it was an ordinary person, it wouldn't be a problem to let Lu Zhenming go. After all, Lu Zhenming's family was the real local tyrant. However, now he was facing two warriors from the Golden Bell sect. They weren't ordinary people. If Lu Zhenming went up, it would be suicide. It seemed that Miss didn't understand the situation here. But it was no wonder. The Cheng family was already the most powerful existence in Songning City. They rarely heard about the Zhenwu family in sections. Especially for a girl like Cheng Minjing, she wouldn't often pay attention to it. However, Xiao Chen couldn't expose his strength now. If he could, he would have kicked them to death. How dare they threaten Shen Jingxian? They must be tired of living. However, Miss didn't know much about it, but Lu Zhenming did. Lu Zhenming had been studying the real martial family and the sects for the past few days. He knew that these sects and the real martial family were very powerful existences, and the White Fox was one of the best among them. In the eyes of these two, he was nothing. Even if they killed him, there would be no way to reason with them. They couldn't attack ordinary people, but the Lu family, which was also an ordinary family, could basically avoid it. Therefore Lu Zhenming was in a bit of a dilemma. Normally, he would have rushed up. It would be a good opportunity to show off in front of Cheng Minjing. However, just because he couldn't attack them didn't mean he couldn't scare them. With a sudden inspiration, Xiao Chen walked over and pointed at Shen Jingxian. What Golden Bell sect and Silver Bell sect? Do you two know who she is? Who is she? Brother Chu was stunned. Isn't she from the Zhen Wuxin family? Who are you? Is this what you're wondering too? You have quite a lot of people here. But it's useless. Kid, which family are you from? Do you want to stand out too? Why don't we have a fight? Junior brother Ma looked coldly at Xiao Chen and threatened. She's a woman from the Zhen Wuxin family. But I'm afraid you don't know about her other powerful identity, right? Xiao Chen snorted coldly. You'll be scared to death if I tell you. What identity? Senior brother Chu and junior brother Ma were stunned. She couldn't be a disciple of some big sect, right? However, her identity was about the same as theirs. Even if Shen Jingxian had two identities, she shouldn't be scared to death, right? She's White Fox Hero's girlfriend, Xiao Chen said proudly. Jie. Senior brother Chu and junior brother Ma trembled when they heard White Fox Hero's name. Who among the martial artists who came to attend the summit didn't know about White Fox Hero? He was a thunderous existence. Moreover, they had seen with their own eyes how White Fox Hero trampled Li Shaning to death and whipped Leng Youxiang to death. They couldn't afford to provoke such a ruthless person. However, junior brother Ma was quick-witted. Although he was shocked, he quickly reacted and felt that something was wrong. You said she's White Fox's girlfriend? Is that true? As far as I know, White Fox is from the Demonic Star sect. I've never heard of him having a girlfriend. You're all locals, right? Moreover, the Zhen Wuxin family is far from the Demonic Star sect. How could the two families be related? Why haven't I heard of it? Senior brother Chu finally reacted. Indeed, a marriage alliance between a sect and a family was a big deal. They would definitely announce it to the public. There was no way it would be done in secret. Moreover, White Fox was from the Demonic Star sect. According to the Demon League's usual style, marriage alliances were usually between a few sects that belonged to the Demon League. Although the Shen family could be considered a part of the Demon League, they weren't pure, so there was no precedent of such a thing happening. Moreover, this Shen Jingxian didn't look like she had much strength. How could she possibly have a marriage alliance with White Fox? That's right. Just because you say so. As senior brother Chu mulled over this, junior brother Ma's words made sense. Don't use these things to scare people. We can forget about today's matter. Alright, forget it then. I'll give the 10,000 yuan to that girl. Shen Jingxian also felt that these two were stubborn. Since they didn't want to listen, she didn't want to continue arguing. Forget it. How could it be so easy? No, unless this little bitch kneels down, apologizes to me, and gives me the binoculars in her bag. Otherwise, this isn't over. These two girls can forget about leaving. If they don't give me an explanation, I'll catch them to warm my bed tonight. Junior brother Ma snorted coldly. In his opinion, the other party was just bluffing. If they had the guts, then use them. Who didn't know how to bring people up? What was the point of saying that he knew the presidents of the Warrior Red Society and the Hong Chamber of Commerce? So you're not giving face to White Fox? Xiao Chen's tone turned cold. Catch Kerlin to warm his bed? I haven't even warmed Kerlin's bed yet. And you're warming her first? Shen Jingxian frowned. She hadn't expected these two to be so arrogant. She'd already said forget it. So why couldn't they just give up? It's not that I'm not giving face to White Fox, but who do you think you are? Can you confess on behalf of White Fox? Junior brother Ma didn't dare to speak carelessly. The walls had ears. If White Fox really heard it, wouldn't he be kicked to death by White Fox? White Fox was obviously a very ruthless and violent person. Every time he attacked, he would kill his opponent. If he could avoid provoking this kind of person, he would definitely not provoke him. Xiao Chen, you go and call White Fox. Tell him that I'm in trouble here. Ask him to come over. Shen Jingxian hesitated and said, My phone is out of battery. You go to a public phone to call. Oh, okay. Xiao Chen nodded, turned around and ran. Hey, I have a mobile phone. Cheng Minjing wanted to stop Xiao Chen, but she saw that he had already run far away. She was a little annoyed. Why is this person so stupid? Didn't brother-in-law bring a mobile phone? Jean Bebe said curiously. Who knows? This guy is careless. Who knows what he's doing? Maybe he didn't bring it. Chung Minjing shook her head. Chapter 373. Ha 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 ha. You called White Fox? Why didn't you do it in front of me? You even went to a public phone. Are you serious? That's too much of a lie. Junior brother Ma laughed hysterically. Can you stop joking around? I'm seriously wondering if you're from the Shen family of Jinwu. Junior brother Ma, why don't we just let this go? Senior brother Chu felt that something was wrong. Although it was obvious that the other party was a scammer, he still felt uneasy. It was as if he'd overlooked something important. Young lady, give us another pair of binoculars. We'll forget about the 600 yuan from before. Let's just forget about this. What do you think? Shen Jingxian was about to agree when Lu Shuangshuang objected. No, I can't give you another pair of binoculars. You, senior brother Chu wondered if there was something wrong with this girl's head. She's still not going to compromise at this point. Do you still want to lie to me? What's the value of a pair of binoculars? Why do you have to do this? It won't be good for anyone if things get out of hand. Haha, if she doesn't want to, then I'll just wait here and see who you can find. I said that this isn't over. No one can help you. Senior brother, don't waste your breath on them. Junior brother Ma crossed his arms and sneered. That's fine. If we leave now, people might think that we're unreasonable and afraid of the Shen family of Jinwu. Senior brother Chu nodded. They didn't dare to provoke White Fox, but they couldn't tolerate the Shen family of Jinwu using White Fox's name to pressure them. No one can help you. A cold voice sounded behind senior brother Chu and junior brother Ma. Of course. Ga. Junior brother Ma was about to turn around and say something when he saw the person behind him. He jumped in fright and almost fell to the ground. Xiao Chen was secretly complaining. This goddess really thought highly of him. He didn't wear a mask when he went out today. If he didn't have a backpack, he wouldn't be able to carry it around with him. Fortunately, this was Temple Street. Xiao Chen found a stall that sold masks and bought a similar one to wear on his face. Then he found a chef's uniform and put it on. It looked a little out of place, but he'd make do. White Fox. Senior brother Chu was also shocked and took 2 steps back. Xiao Chen glanced at senior brother Chu and junior brother Ma and said coldly, I know what happened. She didn't want to sell the telescope to you, but you insisted on buying it. Give her $10,000 and apologize to my girlfriend. Senior brother Chu and junior brother's expressions flickered. They were afraid of White Fox, but they also didn't believe. Only 20 minutes had passed, and it would take at least 40 minutes to drive from here to the Zheng family's dojo. How did this White Fox hero get here? White. Therefore, they felt that there must be something wrong here. Are you a White Fox? Junior brother Ma rolled his eyes and asked tentatively. Hurry up and make your choice. Could it be that you want to challenge me? Asked Xiao Chen coldly. A challenge? As junior brother Ma spoke, he carefully sized up Xiao Chen. When he suddenly discovered that Xiao Chen had a price tag on his mask, he was instantly delighted. On the label, the words 20.00 inch were clearly written. The label was brand new, and it was obvious that the mask was newly bought. How could this be the White Fox hero? That was impossible. White Fox's mask had been used for 2 days. Even if it was newly bought, it couldn't possibly be so new. Furthermore, upon closer inspection, the mask still had some rough edges. Logically speaking, these rough edges would fall off after a long time. But this person was obviously wearing a brand new one. Ha 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 ha. Challenge. Alright, you don't have to pretend. Aren't you that Xiao something who went to make the call just now? You went to buy a fox mask, put it on, and then pretend to be a White Fox to trick me, right? Look at the price tag on it. It's 20 yuan. Ha 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 ha. Would a White Fox use street goods? Junior brother Ma pointed at Xiao Chen and suddenly burst into laughter. Who are you trying to fool? I was wondering why you didn't make the call here. You went to a public phone booth to make a call. I guessed that there was something going on. What do you think? I was right, wasn't I? As soon as junior brother Ma finished speaking, Shen Jingshuan's phone rang in her bag. Shen Jingshuan's face also turned red. She felt a little awkward and didn't want to answer, but the phone wouldn't stop ringing. She could only take it out and look at the caller ID. It was her little brother. Hey Jingmao, what's wrong? Shen Jingxian lowered her voice. I'm busy here. If there's anything, say it quickly. Ah, sister, brother White Fox isn't with Yibia today. He went out. I don't know what he's doing. Do you know? Shen Jingmao was a reliable spy. He would inform Shen Jingxian immediately if there was any news. I got it. All right, I'll hang up first. Shen Jingxian quickly hung up the phone and put it back in her bag. Keep pretending, will you? You are all liars like them, right? Junior brother Ma looked at Shen Jingxian coldly. When did the Jimwu Shen family change their profession to be liars? That's really strange. At this time, even Cheng Minjing looked at the white fox in confusion. Although she didn't pay much attention to Xiao Chen, at this moment, the person in front of her seemed to be similar to Xiao Chen. Could it be that Xiao Chen had imitated him? But his voice was different. Thinking of this, Cheng Minjing was a little anxious. She thought that Shen Jingxian wouldn't be so outrageous as to ask Xiao Chen to pretend to be the white fox. But her phone was clearly charged. Jean Bebe also looked at the swordsman white fox in front of her with a weird expression. Her eyes finally fell on his shoes. Then she shouted, Swordsman White Fox, beat him to death. If you perform well, Bebe will like you in the future. You want to challenge me? Okay now? Xiao Chen said coldly as he looked at junior brother Ma, who was smiling foolishly. There was no lack of people who thought that they were ignorant in this world. For example, the person in front of him clearly had a peaceful solution, but he didn't choose it. Instead, he wanted to challenge him. Therefore, Xiao Chen had to fulfill his wish. Yes now. Come on, hit me. Junior brother Ma looked at Xiao Chen mockingly. Oh, as you wish. As soon as Xiao Chen finished speaking, his hand shot out like lightning, slapping junior brother Ma's face. With a pung sound, junior brother Ma was sent flying and landed heavily on the ground. He twitched a few times and spat out a mouthful of blood. Although Xiao Chen showed mercy and didn't kill him, it was clear that he had suffered severe internal injuries. Level 8 Inner Strength. Senior Brother Chu. Run. He's the white fox. After saying this, Junior Brother Ma fainted directly. Where could Senior Brother Chu run to? Junior Brother Ma could tell that the person in front of him was the white fox, so how could Senior Brother Chu not? Senior Brother Chu wanted to cry. It didn't matter where Senior Brother Chu bought the mask, or whether it was from a street stall. He really was the white fox hero. Senior Brother Chu was only a level 6 inner strength martial artist. Why the hell would he run? Even if he ran, he would still be slapped back. He was so scared that he knelt on the ground. He knew how ruthless the white fox was. If he was beaten to death, then he would die in vain. Who told you to challenge him? If you were beaten to death, then the organizers of the Righteous and Demonic Summit wouldn't say anything. You can only blame your bad luck. I'm sorry, White Fox Hero. We were blind. We didn't know that she was your girlfriend. Senior Brother Chu suddenly understood. Shen Jingxian? She said her name was Shen Jingxian? That's right. The disciple from the Zhen Wushan family, who was knocked off the stage by Li Shaning yesterday, was called Shen Jingmao. Moreover, it was indeed the White Fox Hero who caught him and beat Li Shaning to death to avenge Shen Jingmao. Wasn't it obvious that the White Fox Hero was related to the Zhen Wushan family? Why would the White Fox Hero stand up for Shen Jingmao? How stupid! Why hadn't I thought of this before? Looking at Junior Brother Ma's appearance, it was obvious that he had suffered a very serious internal injury. It was estimated that he would have to admit defeat in this summit challenge. If I'd thought of this relationship earlier, I wouldn't have allowed Junior Brother Ma to act so arrogantly in front of the White Fox Hero. Now, not only had he failed to act cool, but he'd also been beaten to a pulp. Senior Brother Chu didn't even know if he could escape this calamity. I said, I'll give her 10,000 yuan and apologize to my girlfriend. Then, I'll let this matter go. Xiao Chen didn't intend to continue beating Senior Brother Chu. After all, there was no point in beating him up. It was more important to resolve this matter. He'd already established his dominance, so it would be unreasonable if he crippled senior brother Chu as well. However, the two of you challenged me. One of you is lying on the ground, and the other is kneeling on the ground and admitting defeat. You can talk to the summit yourselves about this. All right. I'll talk to them. We lost, so we'll definitely pay up. Senior brother Chu's heart was bleeding. If the two of them returned to the Golden Bell sect, they'd definitely be reprimanded. Originally, the elders of the sect had hoped that the two of them would make a name for themselves at the summit. Who would have thought that they'd be beaten so badly before they even had a chance to fight? Oh, then hurry up and don't waste time. Xiao Chun said. Yes, here's 10,000 yuan. No, 20,000 yuan as compensation for the binoculars. Senior brother Chu hurriedly took out 2 stacks of cash from his bag and handed them to Lu Shuangshuang. Lu Shuangshuang was dumbfounded, especially when she heard junior brother Ma say that he'd reached stage 8 inner force before he died. Was this person in front of her an inner force stage 8 expert? Was it true? Lu Shuangshuang hung around the warrior guild every day, so she knew what an inner force stage 8 meant. Even a stage 4 inner force cultivator was respected by many people there. An inner force stage 4 inner force cultivator was a top-notch existence, let alone an inner force stage 8 inner force cultivator. Strong, too strong. Lu Shuangshuang's mind began to race. If she could form a good relationship with this person, wouldn't she have a backer in the future? But would he even care about her? Chapter 374. Alright, take it. Xiao Chun took the money and handed it to Lu Shuangshuang. Ah, thank you, Lu Shuangshuang quickly said. But 10,000 is enough. Although she was greedy for money, she knew that this money was given to Hero White Fox. It wasn't right for her to take it all. You're welcome. I'm returning the 10,000 to you, Xiao Chun said faintly. I took your telescope for free last time. This time, I'm returning it to you. Aha! Lu Shuangshuang immediately remembered who the person in front of her was. No wonder she felt that this mask looked familiar. Wasn't this the person who won her binoculars for free at the Warrior Guild? She couldn't help but exclaim, It's you! That's right, it's me. Xiao Chun smiled. Take your friend and leave this place. Also, your telescope is too expensive. You don't understand. It's not that I want it to be so expensive. Next time you go to the Warrior Guild, I'll tell you in detail. Lu Shuangshuang originally wanted to find someone to rely on. If Hero White Fox had a friendly conversation with her in the Warrior Guild, people would definitely think that she was related to Hero White Fox and wouldn't dare to bully her anymore. Her idea was quite simple. She just wanted to use the tiger skin as a shield. Oh, alright. Let's talk about it when we have time. Xiao Chun nodded. Lin was a little afraid of Xiao Chun. She knew that this person in the fox mask was Xiao Chun, and he actually killed someone again. How terrifying. Lin, who had slightly let down her guard against Xiao Chun, began to feel afraid again. I must pretend that I don't know him. Otherwise, will he kill me to keep my mouth shut? I'm sorry, Heroine Shun. I apologize on behalf of my junior brother. Senior brother Chu walked in front of Shen Jingxian and apologized. Forget it, it's nothing. Don't be so overbearing in the future. It's not right. You can't take advantage of your power to bully others, Shen Jingxian said. The corner of senior brother Chu's mouth twitched. But when he thought about it carefully, he realized that White Fox hadn't really been a bully. She'd given him a chance. But junior brother Ma didn't believe her. He hurriedly walked over and helped junior brother Ma to his feet. Junior brother Ma had also woken up, but he couldn't speak. He glanced fearfully at Xiao Chun, then quickly left with senior brother Chu. The onlookers originally thought that someone had died, but they found out that the person was not dead and could still walk, so they stopped watching and left one after another. On the other hand, Lin Kuo heaved a sigh of relief. Luckily, he didn't kill anyone this time. Otherwise, under the watchful eyes of the public, the police would definitely arrest him. Lu Shuangshuang wanted to say a few more words, but Lin dragged her away. After a few steps, Lu Shuangshuang said, What are you doing, Kuo? I still want to talk to Hero White Fox. If he can support me in the warrior guild, my business will be much easier in the future. Hey, listen to me. Don't get in touch with him. He's not a good person. Kerlin said anxiously. What if Xiao Chen fell for Lu Shuangshuang and forced himself on her? She couldn't bring harm to her good friend. In any case, in Kerlin's mind, Xiao Chen was not a good person. Kerlin thought that he was with Tang Tang, but she didn't expect him to be with Shen Jingxian under another identity. Shen Jingxian was the same. She pretended to be a goddess on the surface, but she was secretly with Xiao Chun behind Cheng Minjing's back. How can the children of the big families be so filthy? Kerlin thought. She really felt sorry for Tang Tang. She knew that Xiao Chun liked Shen Jingxian, but she never thought that Shen Jingxian would really be with Xiao Chun. However, this had little to do with her. She just needed to keep an eye on Lu Shuangshuang and not let her go astray. How can he not be a good person? Lu Shuangshuang thought that although she used to think that Xiao Chun was very hateful and cheated her binoculars, but after this incident, her impression of him had changed greatly. She felt that he was a righteous person and very easy to talk to. She felt a little strange. Why was Kerlin so prejudiced against him? Obviously, Master White Fox came to stand up for them. How could she say that he was not good? Kerlin was not such an ungrateful person. Oh, don't ask. Anyway, he is not very good. I'm afraid. Kerlin didn't continue. She suddenly realized that she had said too much. What are you afraid of? Kua, are you hiding something from me? Lu Shuangshuang and Kerlin grew up together. She knew her character very well. She knew that Kerlin would not hate a person for no reason. Even in their slums, there was a lazy Chinlotzi who always went to other people's houses to borrow money and things. Lin Kuer would occasionally help him, but it wasn't to the extent of speaking ill of him. No, what can happen to me? Kerlin was a little incoherent. There must be something. Tell me, did you know about White Fox before? Lu Shuangshuang's eyes turned as if she thought of something. I know. You must like White Fox, right? You are afraid that I will get in touch with him, and then I will steal your man, right? Ha 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 ha, look at your red face. I guessed it right? Kerlin blushed because she lied. How was it because she liked Xiao Chen? Although she once told Xiao Chen that Xiao Chen could pursue her if he studied hard. Now that she thought about it, it was so ridiculous. Those who were with Xiao Chen were all goddess-like existences like Shen Jingxian. I'm afraid he just wants to play around, right? Now I'm afraid he doesn't even have the interest to play, right? Although Kerlin was grateful to Xiao Chen and felt that he had helped her and her family a lot, and now he helped Lu Shuangshuang, to be honest, Kerlin was really afraid of Xiao Chen. She didn't understand Xiao Chen's world. She couldn't imagine the level of a martial artist. She just wanted to live an ordinary life. Those fighting and killing things were too scary. Kerlin couldn't imagine how worried she would be if she became Xiao Chen's woman. Would she be scared to death? Therefore, she was very afraid to have too much interaction with Xiao Chen. She was really afraid. She was an ordinary girl who just wanted to live an ordinary life. Therefore, she was very worried that Lu Shuangshuang would have some interaction with Xiao Chen. She knew that Lu Shuangshuang was sometimes very utilitarian. Although she was clean, if Xiao Chen had any ideas, it would be difficult for Lu Shuangshuang to resist. Then their future would be really hard to predict. Therefore, Kerlin didn't want her good friend to fall into it. I like him, okay? Kerlin thought that if she admitted it, then Lu Shuangshuang would definitely not have that kind of idea anymore. After all, she was her good friend. Why would she steal her man? Oh, Lu Shuangshuang was a little surprised. She didn't expect that she guessed it right. It was hard for her to imagine that Kerlin, who had been studying hard, actually had a crush on him. Really? You two know each other? And, when I was kidnapped by Red Hair, he was actually the one who saved me. I didn't tell you the truth at that time. Kerlin began to make up a story, and told her what happened at that time. So it was the hero saving the beauty. Lu Shuangshuang smiled faintly. But he already has a girlfriend. You want to be a mistress? Anyway, the martial artists don't care about these things. Kerlin's goal was to make Lu Shuangshuang give up, so she began to talk nonsense. She didn't hesitate to sully herself by saying that she wanted to be a mistress. So, Shuang, you won't fight with me, right? I didn't even think about this. You like him, but I don't. I just want him to support me, so that my business in the warrior guild will be better. Lu Shuang said. Phew, that's good. Lin let out a sigh of relief. No matter what, she had said so much. As long as Lu Shuang gave up her interest in Xiao Chun, it would be fine. You. But I have to advise you. Don't think about being a mistress. Look at White Fox. He looks impressive, but his girlfriend is from the martial arts family. Do you understand the martial arts family? It's a level higher than those aristocratic families in Songning. If you were to become a mistress, wouldn't the main wife make you suffer every day? You have to think this through. When the time comes, you'll be alone and weak. You'll be bullied. Lu Shuang turned around to advise Lin Kuer. Okay. I was just thinking about it. Let's not talk about this. Hurry up and finish shopping. I will go back home to sell noodles. You are going to the Warrior Guild to sell binoculars, right? Lin didn't want to talk about this topic anymore. Okay. Lu Shuang nodded. She was quite happy. More than 10,000 yuan of profit came into her account today. It was really good. Lin and Lu Shuang left. Junior brother Ma and senior brother Chu also left. Naturally, Xiao Chen also had to leave. He said to Xin Jingxian, I have something to do. I have to go now. Call me if you need anything. After saying that, Xiao Chen made a gesture to make a phone call. Then he pretended to leave. Okay, you can go now. Xin Jingshuan's expression suddenly became cold again. Xiao Chen sighed. It seemed that Goddess Xin was still angry. However, he couldn't persuade her here. If he stayed here for too long, he would be exposed. Therefore, he turned around and left directly. Cousin-in-law, Jin Beibei suddenly shouted. Xiao Chen was immediately startled, but he still turned his head around very slowly and looked in Jin Beibei's direction in confusion. Where is cousin-in-law? Why isn't he back yet? Jin Beibei asked Cheng Minjing with a smile. Who knows where he is? He must have been electrocuted while making a phone call. Cheng Minjing was also a little puzzled. What is this guy doing? Why hasn't he come back for so long? Is it because he is afraid to come back, because there are warriors here? However, Xiao Chen doesn't seem to be that kind of weak person. It's so strange. Xiao Chen sweated heavily. He left quickly and found a place where nobody was around. After taking off all his clothes, he walked back quickly. Chapter 375. Ah, cousin-in-law, you're back, Jin Beibei said. What do you mean by back? Xiao Chen was dazed. I went to make a call just now, and then I came back, Jin Beibei said. Right. Why were you gone for so long? Cousin Minjing said that you were electrocuted by the phone. Pooh. I drank too much water, because I was in a hurry. I searched for a toilet for a long time. Right. Is Swordsman White Fox here? Xiao Chen scratched his head. He thought that Jin Beibei had noticed something, but it seemed that he had been overthinking. Oh, don't you know whether or not Swordsman White Fox is here, cousin-in-law? Jin Beibei asked. How would I know? Xiao Chen was shocked again. He kept feeling that Jin Beibei seemed to be implying something. Did this cunning girl really see through him? Wasn't it you who called cousin-in-law? Why don't you know? Jin Beibei asked in confusion. Beibei, what nonsense are you talking about? Cheng Minjing interrupted her. All right, Xiao Chen, you're back. Let's go. Don't stand here. Somebody is bound to be pointing at us. All right. Xiao Chen nodded. He found Lu Jinming, who was somewhat dumbfounded, and asked, Little Lu, what's wrong with you? Pa. Lu Jinming slapped his head in regret. He cried, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. It was the best opportunity to meet Swordsman White Fox, and I missed it. I was so shocked just now that I didn't realize what was going on. Gosh, I'm screwed. I'm so unlucky. I didn't even know how to take advantage of such a good opportunity. If I had gone up to meet him, I would have definitely remembered him. Xiao Chen was immediately lost for words. I have his number. Should I ask him to come back, so that you can meet him? I don't dare to do that. If he heard that I had nothing to do, he would beat me to death. I don't want to become that junior brother Ma. It's too miserable. Lu Jinming sighed. Shen Jingxian took a look at Jean Beibei, only to find that Jean Beibei was grinning at her. Somehow, Shen Jingshuan's heart tightened. She also felt that Jean Beibei seemed to be suspicious of something. But it was impossible. Xiao Chen had disguised himself very well. His voice and clothes were all different. How could Jean Beibei see through him? Illusion, it must be an illusion. Shen Jingxian thought. Beibei, help me take a look. Does this look good? While Cheng Minjing was looking at a hairpin, Shen Jingxian took Jean Beibei to another stall and picked up a hat. Yes. Jean Beibei nodded. Then why were you laughing just now? Shen Jingxian asked. What did I laugh at? Beibei didn't laugh. Jean Beibei looked at Shen Jingxian strangely. Just now you were grinning at me, Shen Jingxian said. Oh, just now. I forgot. Jean Beibei scratched her head. Right, Sister Jingxian, my brother-in-law is so handsome. Introduce him to me when you have time. I like such a domineering man the most. You mean White Fox? Shen Jingxian didn't think much of the first half of Jean Beibei's sentence. Since Jean Beibei had forgotten it, it must not be something important. However, when she heard the second half of Jean Beibei's sentence, she became a bit nervous. It's not a problem to introduce you, but what do you want to do? Nothing. I just want to ask him if he wants a concubine or not. Sister Jingxian, you are so generous. You won't mind, will you? Jean Beibei asked. Of course not. Beibei, are you kidding me? Shen Jingxian said with a weird expression and forced a smile. Oh, I'm just joking. Jean Beibei said. I'm quite envious of Sister Jingxian. Alas, Sister Minjing has made no progress with cousin-in-law at all. I'm so anxious. If only I could be as fast as Sister Jingxian. Oh, yes. Shen Jingxian was quite nervous. She had no idea what Jean Beibei meant. But judging from her expression, she didn't know that Xiao Chen was White Fox, did she? Otherwise, she would have asked her directly, wouldn't she? It's so boring. I was thinking of establishing a cousin-in-law association, or something, and asking Sister Jingxian to join it. You and Cousin Minjing are best friends, and Cousin Jingxian and I are good sisters. If the three of us marry cousin-in-law, we will be able to hang out with each other all the time. But you are on your own now. It's not a good idea. Jean Beibei said somewhat regretfully. Why don't I persuade Cousin Minjing to marry a White Fox? Beibei, your joke is not very funny. Shen Jingxian looked a bit nervous. It's not a joke. After all, marrying cousin-in-law or White Fox is the same, isn't it? Jean Beibei blinked her eyes. How can it be the same? Shen Jingshuan's heart almost jumped out of her chest. She was almost scared to death by Jean Beibei. Whether we marry cousin-in-law or White Fox, the three of us will marry him together. Isn't it more or less the same? Jean Beibei said. Oh, it's more or less the same. How can it be the same? Shen Jingxian was relieved. Jean Beibei's words did not convey what she meant. She was almost scared to death. Ha. I was just joking. But it seems that I can only follow cousin-in-law. My grandpa likes cousin-in-law. Jean Beibei said somewhat regretfully. Is that so? Shen Jingxian was somewhat annoyed. Xiao Chen and Jean Beibei were indeed having an affair. Otherwise, why would golden-haired Lion King like Xiao Chen? However, she still pretended to say, then let's not ruin your relationship with Minjing. Just let Minjing do it first. That's true. I'm not like Sister Jingxian, who enjoys all the benefits first. Jean Beibei nodded. I didn't. Shen Jingshuan's heart almost exploded again. You did. It was Chen Jingquan and Chen Jinping before. Now it's White Fox. Jean Beibei said. That's the arrangement of the family. I can't do anything about it. Shen Jingxian did not want to talk to Jean Beibei anymore. She could not accept the way the girl talked. She was easily scared. Or was it because she had a guilty conscience? Hey, what are you two whispering about? Cheng Minjing turned around and found that Jean Beibei and Shen Jingxian were talking about something. Therefore she walked over and asked. Nothing. I'm just a little sorry that Sister Jingxian can't share our cousin-in-law with us. Jean Beibei said with a smile. Share our cousin-in-law? Xiao Chen? Who wants to share him? If you like him, you can take him. Cheng Minjing said, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Oh, really? Jean Bebe turned around and looked at Shen Jingxian. Sister Jingxian, are you happy? Why should I be happy? Shen Jingxian looked at Jean Bebe in confusion. Nothing. I think you should be happy because I'm quite happy, Jean Bebe said. Bebe, what nonsense are you talking about today? Stop it. I'm a little hungry. Let's go eat something. Cheng Minjing did not want to talk about Xiao Chen anymore. Ever since she came back from the family banquet with Xiao Chen, Cheng Minjing had been avoiding this topic. She did not know where she should go in the future. Because of the marriage between Xiao Xiao and Cheng Mingqiang, there was an inexplicable barrier between her and Xiao Chen. They came to a restaurant on Miaohui Street. It was a place called South County Snacks. Although it was called Snacks, the decoration was quite luxurious. It was one of the best fast food restaurants on this street. There were so many people in the restaurant that there were no more seats on the first floor. They went to the second floor and found a place to sit down. Xiao Chen, go and buy something. Cheng Minjing looked at the long line in front of the counter downstairs and did not want to go down to line. Therefore she told Xiao Chen. Okay. Although Xiao Chen was powerful now, he had always carried out his mistress's orders firmly. After all, after knowing her nature, Xiao Chen increasingly felt that he owed her in the past. She was a kind person. Now that he was with Shen Jingxian behind her back, Xiao Chen felt that he was not qualified to be her fiancé. Therefore he gave in to her all the time. As long as her request was not too excessive, Xiao Chen would satisfy it. Moreover, Cheng Minjing was just being tough on the outside but soft-hearted on the inside. Although she would arrogantly order Xiao Chen to do this, and that every time, she was actually very concerned about him. Do you have money? Cheng Minjing suddenly remembered that Xiao Chen did not go to the morning market to set up his stall recently. She had not paid him, and he often had to buy medicine to recuperate. Therefore, she took out a few hundred yuan from her wallet and gave it to Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen did not refuse. He took the money and went downstairs. While Cheng Minjing and the others were talking, there were a few men sitting in a corner of the restaurant on the second floor. They were dressed similar to senior brother Chu and junior brother Ma. Those who knew their trade could tell that they were martial artists at a glance. Of course, in the eyes of ordinary people, these people at most wore retro clothes. Nowadays, retro clothes were also popular, so no one thought that there was anything wrong with them dressing like this. Senior brother Qiao, that person over there seems to be Cheng Minjing? Among these people, a man dressed in a white robe said to the person sitting in the middle, who was obviously the leader. Xiao En's eyes narrowed slightly. He had come to Songning City this time to investigate the cause of Li Shanying's death. He was now a deacon of the Law Enforcement Hall of the Warrior Guild headquarters, and had considerable authority. If it were not for the fact that the colorful Li family had a vice president of the Warrior Guild headquarters, the Law Enforcement Hall would not have accepted this task. After all, being killed at the Righteous and Demonic Summit could only mean that one's strength was not enough. If you wanted to take revenge, it was your own matter in the future. It had nothing to do with the Warrior Guild. Moreover, it would not involve the Law Enforcement Hall. However, this order was personally given by Vice President Li, so Qiao En's could only come in person. Originally, he was a little reluctant and did not immediately start the investigation after he arrived. Instead, he planned to go sightseeing for a few days and investigate after the summit was over. He did not expect to meet the woman he had once pursued here. You're tuning in to the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.